smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was close, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fight. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hit us, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK to anybody, kill him. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split him. LN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops straight go. I got them all, you don't want no. I got all those things, nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
Bow, bow, bow. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. How's everybody doing today, man? We got a hell of a day of boxing for y'all today. Salute to my guy, All Things. First one in, last one out. Icon Canadian. Peace and blessings, King. Welcome to the show. Thomas Hill. Welcome, my guy. Welcome, my guy. Peace and blessings. Antonio Brown. Peace and blessings, King. Cash Crypto. My guy. Peace and blessings. Coach Amber. Peace and blessings, Queen. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link down in case you want to hop up here today, Amber. You know, we can get it started because we got a lot of boxing to go over, Coach Amber. And I know you want to get up. I need you to get up here and get your 2 cents as well. We got a lot of boxing to go over today. This has been a great weekend of boxing where, you know, we've been having great boxing this year. This has been a great year of boxing right here. Media Riley. Peace and blessings, King. I could have sworn I made Bullet Gibson a moderator already, but let me redo it. That was the other channel. Bullet Gibson. There you go. Kawhi Elliott. Peace and blessings, King. King Vaughn. Peace and blessings, King. And Bullet Gibson. Welcome back, man. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Okay. First, we're going to get in this right here. Shakur Stevenson and Jahan Ingram. They give you about 20 minutes. Okay. I know you do, Coach Amber. I know you want to talk about Amanda Serrano. That's why I said I wanted to get you up here. First off, Shakur Stevenson, he got me scratching my head a little bit. For one, first off, did y'all see Oshack's performance? We're going to get at that too. But y'all do know at 130, we were supposed to see Oshack versus Shakur. But Shakur didn't give us that fight right there. And I'm kind of upset because the way Oshack performed, I think that would have been a hell of a fight. That would have been a high-speed chess for us to watch right there. And I'm kind of mad Shakur didn't give us that fight because that was his mandatory and he didn't give it to us. But, hey, sometimes you just don't get what you need. But he did us a great disservice on that one right there. But right now, Frequent flyer, salute, King. Peace and blessings. Philly, OG, salute. But yeah, one thing I do want to talk about, right? Jahan Ingram and Shakur Stevenson are going back and forth online. Now, Jahan Ingram ain't no slow leap for people that don't know boxing. Jahan Ingram is a very talented 135 pounder. He's also the same person. He fights 135 to 140. He's the guy that dropped expensive paper, my guy. Peace and blessings in the building. Bomb squad. Expensive paper. I know how you see how they trying to drag Wilder now, because Tyson Fury got dropped on his tail, but that ain't Wilder versus Ngannou. That was Fury versus Ngannou. And people see how good Fury is when he don't get his supplements. See, that was Fury without all his supplements that he has to fight Wilder. So if Ngannou did him like that, you know what it is versus the Bronze Bomber. Plus, I hope we get Ngannou versus Bronze Bomber so we can take all that situation out of it, because everybody talking about how Ngannou would do anything. Oh, yes, he dropped Rolly in sparring, Meaty Riley. He did Rolly dirty and dropped him in sparring. And this is the same guy who Shakur took his friends. Shakur brought his crew, and he made a comment about it. He say, my young guys, buckle up, boxing talk. Peace and blessings, King. Shakur said, can't nobody see my guys on boxing. My young guys are killers. They stop at everything. So they went up to Mayweather gym in Vegas. And they went up there, him and his 3 guys. He had your boy Jaquan in there too, the boy that beat Carmel Moulton in the finals. But yeah, they all was up there. And his dude got in there and started posting pics about what he did in sparring. And he posted like 4 pics of him getting off. But what he didn't do is show the whole thing. Jahan Ingram had dropped the guy. He had the guy bent over, throwing up from beating him to the body. Like, he sat there and thoroughly thrashed Shakur's young boy. And they posted the real talk on there, and then Shakur felt some type of way. And he came at Jahan Ingram because he stepped on one of Shakur's homies. And then Shakur started snapping out at Jahan Ingram now. Now, this is supposed to be the elite fighter fighting for a belt. Now, you sitting, yeah, that's his little cousin, Philly. But yeah, his cousin got stepped on. His cousin was posting, and then look, Jahan Ingram never even said nothing about it. It was Shakur cousin that started posting online like he got off. And so the real things got popped off, and they showed him getting dropped. They showed him throwing up and getting the brakes beat off of him. So Shakur felt some type of way and called himself coming at Jahan Ingram. And so y'all know how the social media is. So they start coming at Jahan Ingram. Jahan Ingram said like this. He like, ain't nobody gonna ever do nothing to me. And Jahan Ingram with that smoke, and he got people with him that's with that smoke too. Because my homeboy is his stepfather. So my homeboy not stepfather, godfather. My homeboy 2 Monies is with that man. So I knew about Jahan Ingram for a minute. I did video on him. But look, Shakur was upset about it. And then you know how social media, they go ahead and blow things up. So, Shakur's wife and everything, or his fiance, they start posting how Shakur and how a lot of these young guys are tender D's, that they be wifing up women that's done been ran through the block. Now, y'all do know Shakur's fiance Lyric. That's the same one that NBA Youngboy was running through Raw. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know what NBA Youngboy has. He did a daggone song and said what he has in his bloodstream. Shamika Jackson, peace and blessings. That man is Fury fought is stronger than Deontay Wilder, and Fury simply could not bully him like he did Wilder and many other fighters he fought that was small. Yeah, but Fury had some extra help when he fought Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He always has something in his tank that keeps him from getting knocked out. They call it the MDMA. I'm gonna tell you like that. That keeps him from getting knocked out. But yeah, so they start posting Shakur girl Lyric and showed all the different people that she been ran through by. And so Jahan was like, word? So he sent her a shout out and said, when you done playing with that little boy, come home. And she put the hearts beside and everything. So Shakur's mad. He real tight. He tight. You know, a lot of these guys be trying to act street. They're not street, and the girls know you're not street. And you know, you can put up a front and act this way and that way. But if you're a boxer, be a boxer, man. Don't try to be a street guy. Because a street guy, I'm gonna tell you like this: they're not gonna box with you, bro. They're gonna put something in you. Like that's why I used to tell the young boxers, like, look, you can box your tail off, but if you ain't street, don't be street. Because a street guy ain't about to sit there and wear no ass whipping. I'm sorry. A street guy gonna let you hold something, and that just be the end of another future star. And Shakur feels some type of way, but his girl, I mean, dude reached out to the girl bit. I mean, you know what type of girl you got. Y'all wifing up. You know, a lot of these young boxers out here wifing up these 304s and getting mad. But hey, it is what it is. You knew she wasn't yours. You know, it's your turn. That's what it is. It's just your turn. But that's one thing right there. So, you know, Jahan Ingram, he fights at 135, 140. So it could be an easy fight to make after Shakur go with Del Santos, which is not a guaranteed conclusion because now, instead of worry about Del Santos, Shakur worried about the wrong thing right now. He don't need to be getting distracted because he's going against his best fight. It should have been his second best fight because Shakur should have fought Oshack Foster, who was his mandatory. And we seen Oshack Foster. Big shout out to Oshack Foster and his win this weekend. And if y'all watch the fight, you see that he was set up to get robbed. The whole fight, they were sitting here not giving him no credit, even on the cards. Even the 11th round that he beat the heck out the dude, you had one of them gave it to the other guy. Like, if you look at the cards, Oshack lost damn near every round on them cards. And his family, I mean, they knew that the fix was in. He had no choice but to stop it. Hell, he took the fight down in Mexico. So, you know, they was pushing. It was always a narrative. Oshack like Gary Russell. They didn't want him with the belt. And they tried to take it off of him, but he shined, he persevered, and he kept what was rightly his. And I appreciate that. And I'm proud of him about that. Now we got a lot of talks about Francis Ngannou versus Deontay Wilder. Y'all, hey, Thomas Hill, I ain't saying she belongs to the streets. The streets saying she belongs to the streets. You know, she belongs to the streets. Yes, he did, Media Riley. He fought like a real warrior. Oh, yeah, that lady, what was her name? Claudia Ojeho, it wasn't Ortega. What was her name? But yeah, buckle up. I'm just talking about. I like the way Oshack dug in when he had to, when he knew. Oshack, he don't like to exert a lot of energy in fighting. I've noticed that he like to fight down to the competition. Sometimes he makes fights a lot harder than they should be. Strap season, salute, King. Like I think Ant McQueen, salute, King. I feel like he could outbox and destroy fighters, but he be letting them hang around too long, and I don't respect that right there. You got to be a killer when you're in there. Like, you got to step on the gas, mash the gas on your opponent, and get him up out of there. But they was trying to rob that man. But they talking about Wilder versus Ngannou. Yeah, Ngannou, you did good against Tyson Fury, but you're going against the hardest hitting heavyweight in history. Ngannou won't go 2 rounds with Wilder right there. I'm just letting you know. Wilder, and people don't realize Wilder's boxing IQ. Wilder has knocked down anybody that's been in the ring with him. And Ngannou may hit hard. And don't listen to that narrative people talking about he's the hardest hitting fighter ever. No. A dude made that up and people ran with that. Because Ngannou only hit like 9 something on the boxing thing. They showed that. He's not the hardest hitting puncher in the world. I got Wilder in less than that, Thomas Hill. I mean, you see he took a round for Hellenius. Like, Ngannou, yes, he did good, but this is Deontay Wilder. This man right here can flick his wrist and send you to the upper room. Like, people don't understand the art, and this is power plus. Like, Wilder gets rid of that man, dog. Wilder will set it up and catch him. Because you see, Fury was catching the Ngannou. Like, Wilder catch him anytime like that is over with. But we about to go to now we got another man trying to get the bag. We got Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao wanting to call out Gervonta Tank Davis for the bang. Now, if I'm Tank's handlers, I say, let's take that fight. I'll take that Pacquiao fight. Let Pacquiao get his old self in that ring and get knocked the hell out. Shout out to my guy Expensive Paper with the Bomb Squad all day, every day, even on a Sunday. You know how we do it. But yeah, my guy Tank Davis, right? He's sitting there and getting called out by Manny Pacquiao. I say make the fight. It's a big name for my co-host is in the building, people. Let's welcome the beautiful and illustrious Key Alexander to the stage. Key Alexander, welcome, Queen. Welcome.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, loud and clear.
Hey, how are you? How was your weekend? How everything go?
I mean, my weekend, I was in the hospital watching fights, with my mom and everything, but she's doing good. Her injection fracture is up now. Like, her injection fracture was down because she had like, I think they said over 10 heart attacks. And they had, because she got a defibrillator with her pacemaker, so they had been checking her defibrillator, but they hadn't been checking her heart. And her cortisol levels was so high from the heart attacks, and they hadn't been checking it. And when she went in the other day, her injection fracture was under 5%. Shout out to my guy Frequent Flower with the $2 holler, said put my two with the rest. Appreciate you, homie. Peace and blessings. But yeah, so her injection fracture was low and it was under like 5%, and they was acting like my mom wasn't gonna make it, but she got it up. I spent the night up there a couple of days, and she has the 2 blood clots in her lungs. They've been getting her on the diuretics, and they put on blood thinners to thin the blood clots in her chest. And Ariana, peace and blessings, Ariana, peace and blessings, Queen. And so, like, they getting it down, but now it's a little thing up with her kidneys right now because they were gonna do the procedure on her heart, but they the diuretics drained too much and got her kidneys overworked, so now they took her off the drip and got her on the diuretic pills to try to get her kidneys back fluid so she could get the procedure with her heart. So for right now, everything is working, but just everybody keep her in your prayers. But we good. The Most High don't make mistakes, and the Most High, He there. So He knows my mom. Hopefully,
I'm glad that everything is okay. And if we got to jump the doctors, just say so.
Oh yeah, because I was at a point that day because my doctor told my mama, like, well, he told my family, talking about we did y'all a disservice because see, he's been checking the defibrillator, but he wasn't checking my mom's heart. So he said we did y'all a disservice by not checking her heart, and I was enraged. I was like, bro, my mama don't make it up out of here. You're not gonna make it up out of here because you should have been checking this for a year, and you hadn't been. But the Most High works great, so I'm glad. Like my mom's still, she still good. Like after I do the show, I'm gonna go up there and see her today too. So, peace and blessings, Edgar Chavez. Peace and blessings, and between rounds, peace and blessings. But yeah, let's get to the boxing. I don't want to talk about nothing like that right now. We in here talking that boxing talk. I don't want to bring the mood down. You feel me?
I got you.
Dr. Mark, peace and blessings, King. But go ahead, King. I know you want to get your introduction. People been waiting on you anyway.
First of all, shout out to everybody. I see everybody in here. Shout out to All Things, as always.
Smash the likes, y'all. Appreciate it.
Shout out to the Queen, Ariana, all the kings in the chat, Edgar, Frequent Flyer. Shout out to you, Bullet Gibson, everybody, GT&T, Expensive Paper. Thank you for the support for Upper's channel. It's definitely growing. Shout out to Thomas Hill, one of the ghosts of these YouTube boxing streets, and everybody. Shout out to everybody. I just want to say, hey Kawhi Elliott, good afternoon. I just want to say this weekend has been so ghetto in boxing. It was so ghetto. It was because it was so random. Like, we kicked it off with one of the most pivotal moments in boxing history with
We're gonna wait on Coach Amber for that one. She she wants to get up there and cook on that one.
okay, well, I'll just touch on it then for the coach. But and I won't go too deep because I'm gonna definitely let her kick because this is her
Moment.
Yeah, this is her moment. So but I just want to say we started off beautifully with Serrano versus Ramos, man, with making history. And then next thing you know, here comes the absolute ignorant. Just it was who would have thought that and I know you touched on this already, so my apologies for rewinding Upper, but
Oh no, go ahead. You gotta give your take.
but who would have thought
Thank
in
you, Ariana.
in your wildest in the wild like that we would be saying on October 28th or 29th, whatever day it was, I think it was the 28th, that Francis would put down Fury in a overhead shot, knocked him out, and Fury looked just as confused as I was. It happened so quick, I thought he fell. I was like,
hey, look, did you notice that after that happened, Fury started going to all his cheating that he knew? Like, he started going through the elbows and everything. Like, Fury knew he was in a fight. He was like, hold up, because they said he only trained for 2 weeks. So, he didn't take the man seriously. So that man right there.
I'm not even using that as no excuse, Upper. Nope. This man was none-teen on the record. He has 0 fights. He is a UFC MMA fighter. I don't watch the MMA. You feel me?
Exactly, Thomas.
I don't.
Straight elbow after that.
I don't watch MMA, but one thing I do know is that since we always want to talk about resumes, who has the better resume, Fury or Francis? There's no excuse. This man came in 0-0. There's no excuse. Absolutely. And now people are saying Wilder will destroy that man. Do y'all realize that? Like, y'all are, but I understand he's 37 years old. People want to just throw him to the wolves. Okay. Y'all gonna get what y'all looking for. Like, you guys are definitely gonna get what you're looking for. But
you want to see what pisses me off, though, Key?
What's up?
Like, Wilder wasn't in the ring. He was nowhere near the ring. But these jackoffs want to sit there and try to say Wilder's a bum because he couldn't do such a Fury. Wilder wasn't in that ring. That was Fury on the ground from Ngannou. Yes, Fury had to cheat versus Wilder. He didn't think he had to cheat versus Ngannou, and he paid the price. This is not the Wilder that went. Look, Wilder would have got in there and destroyed that Fury. And Fury tried, and the difference is, and I hope Wilder watched it, Fury can't mess with Wilder, but what he does, Fury is about 50, 60 pounds heavier than everybody he fights. So he tries to wear him out, and he jumps on their back and everything, and he tires you down. And once you're tired, people can do almost anything to you. That's his game plan because he's so much heavier. But if you notice, Ngannou put that forearm up under Fury's neck and held him up like, nah, you're not leaning on me. So Fury wasn't able to do the damn battle, the wear and tear. That, Wilder, he's a small guy. Wilder's a cruiserweight/bridgerweight. So, he's a small guy fighting Fury. So Fury just have to lean on him a little bit. And like, if in boxing, when a person leans his weight on you, that takes away your stamina, your power, everything, because you got to hold their weight up with yours. And it gets heavy after a while, but Ngannou, he majors in grappling. So he didn't let Fury do that if Fury wasn't able to put his power and his weight on him. And so that stopped Fury's advantage right there. And then he was holding Fury up by his neck. Fury was out of it just then. He was like, dang. And so he couldn't cheat that way. And so Ngannou caught him. And see, like I tell people, we've seen Fury without his do-it fluid. That's when he got knocked out by Jared Anderson. Then he had to fly back home to get his shots. That's when he said he had COVID. People act like they don't remember it, but it happened. That's when he went back home and got his get right because Jared Anderson exposed him. And then he came back. And so he didn't have that for this right here because he thought, okay, this is an easy fight. And he got exposed. that man sat there and showed him, like, look, you can't take me easily. And he found out. Just do peace and blessings, King. But yeah, like
Yes,
he
he
found
did.
out the hard way.
Yes, he did. And I was just so, I mean, yo, did y'all see in I think it was the 4th round. Forgive me, I don't have my notes because normally, now that I'm doing, these reviews with you on live, I like to, when I'm watching matches, I like to write down the notes of what I'm seeing. So forgive me, I don't know which round it was, but I think it was the 4th or the 5th round where Tyson switched to southpaw. And god dang it, Francis switched with him. I said, throw the whole match away. Right now, throw it away. That's it. That's enough. That
Yeah,
is enough.
Ngannou's
I
used
don't even need to see no more.
the MMA people, they used to switch stances though, because they gotta figure out the right way for the takedown and everything, so they're good off both sides. Like they're
I
good.
know, but it was the fact of how, come on, Upper. When have we seen this go down like this though, bro?
Oh no, I would love every minute of it.
I was like, yo, he real deal read it to be able to be in a high intense room. You know what I'm saying? In that type of magnitude, you have Holyfield there, Tyson, Sugar Ray. You had all of these boxing legends there sitting front row. You have all the sheiks there. Like them dudes that was sitting, you know what I'm saying, in the front row, them Saudis. Best believe that those were the ones, those were the trillionaires right there. You had all
They
of
was
this.
there with the Prince. The Prince.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You had all of this. You had all of these folks here. You had the world watching. More UFC and MMA fans watching rather than boxing, in my opinion. But you had all of these people watching. And for you to be able to switch with this man as he did it so fluidly, and then start coming with the left. Yo, first of all, shout out to Mike Tyson.
Give Mike Tyson his credit.
Shout out to Mike Tyson. Yes.
Iron Mike did his thing. Iron Mike Tyson did his thug thizzle.
Yes, he did. Like I was very impressed. Like how just disciplined. But you know what though? Mike Tyson had put up a video prior to the fight on his channel. I encourage everybody to go check it out. It's about an hour long. And I was watching it while I was at the gym prior to the fight coming on. And Mike Tyson said he saw something in Francis. And the way Mike was teaching him, that famous, you know what I'm saying, that famous hook, how he goes to the body, and how, and one of the most important things that he kept reiterating to Francis was patience. Be patient. You know what I'm saying? Let it come to you. I felt like it was masterful.
One thing about MMA fighters, when you get in the switch over, one thing you got to realize is you can't teach them all the boxing fundamentals. You can't teach them all that. It'll take them their lifetime to do that. But what you need to do is teach them how to breathe, teach them how to gauge their opponent, and how, because if you're in a combat sport, you know about the chest, you know about making a move to get another person to make a move. So you already know that. So you already got to have some type of IQ on attacking your opponent. And in MMA, the wrong move will get you put in a damn guillotine or something right there, get you choked out or something like that. So you got to be sharp. And then you got kicks coming as well. But, you got to teach them how to catch and shoot, basically. Like, catch and shoot. I feel like if you can teach them to catch and shoot, right, and teach them how to parry and spar and get them to turn over on their punches. See, that's the difference between MMA and a boxer. They don't turn over that wrist. They don't know how to throw a proper punch. And I feel like Mike Tyson got him good. Cess M, peace and blessings. I think Mike Tyson taught him what he needed for that moment and taught him how to turn over the punch and basically how to catch and shoot, basically how to evade and attack. Like, you don't need to teach him all the other fundamentals because it ain't going to be that type of fight. I mean, you can't teach them how to work the jab and all them other shots. Just teach them on the shots that they're going to need right then. And that's what Tyson did. He worked on the key ingredients that he was going to need for that fight, for that type of fight. You got a big, tall fighter like Fury. You're going to have to be physical. And did you see how he grappled with Fury and had Fury when Fury tried to clinch and he had Fury's arms twisted up?
He
Like
pushed
he
him
was
back.
like, yeah.
He pushed him back. Like he basically said a statement like, yo, you're not the only one that can do this. And that's the thing with Tyson. You got to fight Tyson at your game. But see, I was mad with how I feel as though they robbed
Robert Hill
Otto.
salute.
I feel as though they robbed Otto Wallen, and I feel as though they robbed Wilder of their victories. I don't care what anybody says. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm a little biased. When it comes
Yeah,
to Fury.
he got 13 counts against Wilder. He got the 13 counts against Wilder. And I think Otto Wallin actually outboxed Tyson Fury and beat him. Because Otto Wallin, he had him busted up good. Like,
Upper, drop the link for Coach.
I know that's what I was doing right now. But Tyson was their guy because he beat the Klitschko. So he was the one that took away 10 years of English dominance. You know what I'm saying? Because England was dominating boxing for 10 years with the Klitschko brothers. And so, but hell, he's English too. So,
Yes, but I just man, like I'm so proud of Francis. I'm just so proud of him, what he did, and if I was, but let's also address the other elephant in the room before, because I know Coach is about to come up here and cook. So I do want to say this though, we've had two of the top heavyweights go down, Dubois with Usyk, which we all know that was not a low blow. He should be.
He should be the champ. He should be
the champion. Champ. And now we've had Francis versus Fury, who arguably, on my scorecards, it could have either went a draw or we could have given the edge because of the knockdown to Francis. So we got to say salute to those kings that really made, you know what I'm saying, that really put a dent into the heavyweight division. And
look, they got exactly Kawhi Elliott, the complexion for the connections. They don't want them to fight each other because they don't want two of them to take each other out first, for one, right? But then they've been having them fight lesser competition. And then, like Daniel Dubois, he should be the champion. Everybody knew, you could have looked, and they've been trying to go back and go to court for it. But everybody's seen that wasn't a damn low blow. They got instant replay. They seen that. The man had over 2 minutes to get himself together. He couldn't even get back up. And I felt like that was a great injustice to Daniel Dubois. It really was. And then you got Ngannou that did it. I'm just like, okay, these fighters are manufactured. They're not what people think they are. And Usyk had called out Wilder before the Helenius fight. Because, Wilder was going to get Usyk that money. Then Usyk seen that Helenius fight, and then Usyk ducked. But ain't nobody talk about that. Ain't nobody talk about how Usyk ducked the Bronze Bomber. But we going to act like it didn't happen, though. But yeah, Usyk ducked. He ducked Wilder. And then, Tyson Fury, yeah, that Superman punch was wild. But Tyson Fury, the first fight, got the long count. Second fight, he had padded gloves with his hand, with his knuckles right there. He was hitting the man with the knuckles, which was assault with a deadly weapon. Because he was hitting my man with straight knuckles. He put a dent in Wilder's head. And then in the third fight, he had another long count. So all three fights could have went to Wilder. You feel what I'm saying? I just felt like Wilder should have kept his weight. He put that extra weight on there, and that extra weight did him a disservice. And that's why we talk about when people go up in weight, how that weight will affect you. If you're not used to carrying it, even an extra couple pounds, it'll take you out. J.A. Dixon, salute, King. And let me make sure I holler at everybody. J.A. Dixon, peace and blessings. King Robert Hill, my guy, peace and blessings. Motor City Muscle Cars and Review. Peace and blessings, King. I'm trying to make sure we holler at everyone that y'all that come in here. If I miss you, I'm sorry, but peace and blessings to you and yours. And I think Key and Coach Amber want to get in here and discuss this great night for women's.
Actually, I'm going to let, because again, as I always say, I hope you guys are giving Coach Amber her flowers because of what she has, because of her participation in the sport and what she was able to do early in her career. So this is her moment, to be honest with you. I'll defer, and if she wants me to chime in on anything, I'm welcome to it. But Coach Amber, go ahead and cook on the most.
Go ahead and fall back as well. I'm about to put that on mute. Black Star Sports and TV. Peace and blessings, King. Salute.
Go ahead and click on one of the most pivotal moments, sports moments in history, where we watch two queens go at it for 3 minutes. 3 minute 12 rounds. So go ahead, coach.
I just have a question for the panel and the chat. Uh, Historic night of boxing, female boxing. I just have one question. I mean, are you not entertained? Were you not entertained? Like, yes, this is going to change the game in female boxing, and depending on what type of fighter you are, um, a lot of these fighters, it's going to be beneficial because it gives them that extra minute. And some fighters, it's going to be detrimental because, you know, they can't hide behind that 2 minute round. Um, I'm not going to lie. There were parts where I got choked up. It was a virtual who's who of women's boxing. You know, I got goosebumps seeing Layla Ali, you know, shaking hands with Shadaysha Green. I was really happy to see Christy Martin um, in the ring. I mean, Serrano did her thing. I mean, any female fighter who wants to take notes, that is how you pay homage. That is how you pay homage to the women that came before you, the OGs that came before you. Um, I really hope that they don't like try to mince her words and say, "Oh, well, she, you know, wants to be treated equal as men." It's not about being treated equally as
She just want to be
men and
treated
women. It's just as an
sports.
athlete.
Yeah.
As an athlete, I totally get where she was coming from. She's like, I don't want to be labeled as a good female boxer. I just want to be able to say that I'm a good boxer. And I totally resonate with that. You know, being told, oh, well, you fight good for a girl. Well, if I just fight good, what? I just fight good. And Key, you are very big a part of this movement because we do need female fans. I'm not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure you probably did notice there were female officials officiating the guys, and I was really happy to see that. I know plenty of female officials in my LBC. However, none of them participate in professional fights. So I was happy to see that. I did watch almost the entire card, prelims included, and I was very happy to see, you know, multiple female officials. Um, and Key, you know, even though you know you're a fan of boxing, you're very, very as much a part of this as I am. Same thing with all the women in the chat. We need female support. We need female support, and to see it on display Saturday night, it was a beautiful thing.
That was beautifully said, and you're right. I got goosebumps. I was watching in KQKC's channel. Shout out to KQ. You guys make sure y'all subscribe to the OG. But I was watching in his channel and just, man, like I couldn't believe what I was seeing because we're so used to it being so quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like you blink and then we're on to the next round, and you blink and we're on to the next round. And with this one, it was like, yo, they are really fighting for 3 minutes. And I seen some comments out there in the social media world where they were saying, I don't think that this is right for women to fight for 3 minutes. They look tired and everything else. First of all, the first time that this was done was 15 years ago, and they got rid of it for some odd reason. They moved away from it. Yes, as women, we have to adapt to this type of.
Yo, men be tired. Shit.
I know exactly, but as women, you know, we haven't done. You know, they have. I can't say we because I'm not in the ring, but they haven't done this. Of course, they're going to have to get used to it. But I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, give credit to where it's due. Like they did 3 minute, 12 minute rounds, and yo, during the 10th and the 11th round, I thought Ramos was going to sleep.
Yeah,
The way that Serrano was loading up and knocking her, I'm like, yo, somebody wave the flag, like that's enough. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just very proud. I couldn't have done it with. I wouldn't have wanted to see it with anyone better than Serrano. Serrano's just her last fight. She was talking about.
She's trying to get that record, trying to get that knockout record.
Yeah, and also too, though, I want to give a special. I know we can be hard on him because he's not a real boxer. But shout out to Jake Paul. because
I
that's what
respect
Manny
what he do
Serrano is under.
what he does for female boxing is unprecedented. He's the one that got
Exactly.
them their first $1 million payday.
Exactly.
Jake
Like, shout
Paul
out
may
to
be
him.
Jake Paul may be a lot of things, but he's a big advocate for female boxing, at least for them getting on an equal pay scale. But I'm gonna tell you like this: there's gonna be a lot more knockouts coming in female boxing now. It ain't gonna be a lot of these little 20-minute fights where women can get away from it. Now we get to see women dig in. Now, see, this is what's gonna get a lot more fans to female boxing because now a woman has to dig in. It ain't just lasting 20 minutes and the fight's over with. Nah, you got to dig in a fight now. Like I say, the worst time for a man boxer is that last minute of a round. The last minute of the round is where most of the knockouts happen. Because after you've been boxing for 2 minutes, that last minute you get fatigued and you go back to the chair and you get to rest for a minute. And that last minute of a round is where all the action takes place. And now we get to see it with the female boxers. They're getting included in on this. So I appreciate that now that they're getting more inclusive. And now we get to see females go through like they're athletes now. Like now that they're doing the same thing that men's doing, you can't label them as a different sport because WNBA, they use a smaller ball and lower rims. But now female boxers had less rounds and less minute rounds. So now they're doing everything that the man can do. You really can't say nothing bad about it. You got to respect them as an equal athlete now. Now they got to train just as hard as men to last as long as men.
And you know what else I was very pleased about too with what I was seeing in there is that now I get to see some exciting fights. Like this whole weekend, outside of besides the other ghetto-ness that occurred, now I get to really do the Birdman hand rub on Shadeja Green versus
And
Clarissa
Carissa.
Shields
Woo!
for 3 minute 12 rounds, bro. Like that, there's your fireworks right there. Like Serrano kicked it off, and it's up to Clarissa, you feel me, and Shadeja to move this on, move it
So
forward.
Shadeja versus Marshall or Freshan, you already know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach, you got anything else to say?
Honestly, the whole fight card was good. Like I said, I even watched the prelims, like which is the fights before the undercard. Honestly, if I would have paid, like if that was a reasonable pay-per-view, $50 pay-per-view, I felt like I would have got my money's worth. I really do. Between the prelims and some of the undercards, although there was one there where I was like, what the hell is going on? Where I don't know if y'all saw it, where oh boy, his hair dye started bleeding all over the other guy. That was kind of crazy to me. I'm surprised that they let that slide.
Bruce Jazz, salute, King. Peace and blessings.
But yeah, it was historic. Like I said, I got butterflies. I got all warm and fuzzy. And like I said to all the women in the chat, like don't think just because you've never participated. By being a fan, you are participating.
Hey,
we need more.
Confirmed? I'm sorry, Coach.
No,
is that confirmed? Philly? He said Shadeja Green versus Sean Cruz in December, I believe. I haven't heard of that. If that's confirmed, that'd be hell of a fight.
Well, I heard it was in the works. I don't know if they made an official announcement, but
trying to get Marshall. But hey, that's even better.
I agree.
But now Frenchine ain't got the belts. She was supposed to fight her with the belts.
I still like the fight. I mean, yeah. I'd rather see Shadeja win a world title, but I mean, I still like the fight.
That fight don't go past 5, to be honest. For Sean, I love her heart and everything, and she's tough, but she's there to get hit. She's there to get hit. She reminds me of Joy Joyce, the Juggernaut. Like takes the punishment and just keep going it. Oh, it's confirmed. Heck yeah. So we got Shadeja Green versus Frenchon Cruz. Jake Paul got it done. See, that's why I said I like Jake Paul, bro. Jake Paul, that man. I'm gonna have to start giving him more respect on my channel because he's doing a lot for female boxing.
He really is. That's the goal. Coach, what were you saying?
Well, facts about Jake Paul. I mean, I never really cared for him, but I mean, the way that he's, kind of took, female boxing under his wing and was like, you know what, like I'm gonna give you your shine. I truly, truly appreciate that.
First $1 million payday for a woman.
Exactly, exactly. And like I said, as far as like, women in the chat, like the female fans, we got to stand up for our own. We got to support our sisters out there, even if you've never participated in the sport. Just by being a fan, spending your money, following the sport, all of that helps. Like I said, I'm a coach myself, so and I deal with adults and I deal with kids, and usually, it's the moms that you got to kind of convince, because the dads are always like, yeah, put them in, and it's the moms you got to convince. And I always tell people, make it a family affair. Bring your wife, and bring your wife. Let her see what's going on, and then after a couple of weeks, pretty soon you see mom on the treadmill. You'll see mom working out. Make it a family affair. Like the more women that are involved in boxing, whether it's through fans, through their children. Like I said, in my LBC we have plenty of female officials, female timekeepers. Just whatever contribution you can make, just all the better. Like, and I've been saying this for a while, that female boxing is the next wave. Like it really is. When Amanda came out with all those youth and junior female boxers, half of them I recognized off the rip. Half of them I recognized when she came out with all them. Like that is how you pay homage. Like that is how you do it. Like Serrano was so classy. The way she paid homage, that's how you do it. And like I said, to all the women in the chat, any way, even if it's just by being a fan, or if you have kids, nieces, nephews in the sport, I mean, just support them. We need more female support in the sport, not just by actively fighting. And that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. They said they faced off. Cruz versus Shadaza. That's a must watch right there. I want to see what the rest of that card will be like. I would pay pay-per-view money to see Cruz versus versus Shadaza, honestly. Like, that's a great fight right there.
That is a heck of a fight, and I thank you, Amber. That was really well put. Again,
and shout out to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he heard a little backlash, and he seen that Devin could only get one date, so Floyd moved his date. He didn't have to, but he did it. He moved his fight date, so because he said he didn't want to stunt Devin Haney's growth. That's what Floyd Mayweather said, and he switched up the date and gave Devin that date.
So when is he going to fight?
I forgot what day they said, but I know he said that he was gonna let Devin have that date. So all the people that talk about Floyd is such a bitter old hater, y'all make sure y'all remember that right there. That he gave up a date that he had first.
Well, I appreciate that. That way I ain't gonna pay both on the same weekend.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that is true. And thank you, Coach Amber, for everything that you said. And again, I hope you guys are giving her flowers for what she has done in the sports of women boxing. So shout out to you, Queen. And yes, Layla and I think Holly was there too. They looked amazing. I'm like, yo, they still look good. Jesus.
I forgot about Holly. Yeah, Holly was there too. That was like, I'm telling you, it was like who's who of women's boxing. Oh, I would have killed to be in that arena.
Yes, exactly. They looked amazing. Now, what's up, Upper? Were you gonna say something?
Now that we done said that, let's say it like this. Shout out to my guy Tank, the money man. He got Manny Pacquiao trying to call him out. Now, I'm gonna tell you like this. Yeah, Bullet Gibson Floyd did some real stuff for that one right there. And that's what he said. He said everybody try to label him the bad guy, but he said he liked to see his people do good. So he said he's not gonna sit there and try to compete with Devin on that day. He said since that was the only day Eddie Hearn could get it,
He said, but it's funny though how they make him the bad guy when Eddie Hearn the one that did it. But he said he can get any date that he want. He said, I'm Floyd Mayweather. I can get any day I want. So he said, I'm gonna let the young pup have that date. He said, I'll just get another date. And I think Floyd coming on about, I don't know. I gotta check to see what his date is. Plus, I think that gives Keith Thurman a little bit more time to see if he's gonna sign his contract or not. But in other news, we got Manny Pacquiao, who is 5'5", the same height as Tank Davis, calling out Tank for a fight. Now, Tank stopped Barrios. Barrios, the same Barrios that beat Ugas, the same Ugas that retired Manny Pacquiao. Now Manny Pacquiao was out there. His money, he spent a lot of his money on his presidency. So, you know, a lot of his fortune isn't there because he spent a lot of it trying to run for president of the Philippines. Now he sees the cash cow and he's saying he would like to fight Tank Davis at 145 or what around that weight right there. First off, Manny Pacquiao, you're not the A side versus Tank. Your last fight, you lost. And you know, it barely did, it didn't even do 300,000 buys versus Yordenis Ugas. Now you try to come in and fight the face of boxing right now, who just had the biggest pay-per-view. Floyd's protege, the one who beat you, your biggest fight in your history, Floyd Mayweather, his protege. Now I think Pacquiao versus Tank do about 1.5, maybe 2 million buys because Pacquiao still has this crazy fan base. And they would feel like a win against Tank is a win against Floyd Mayweather. That's the way his fans think. And I think that Tank will stop him worse than Marquez did. Like, Tank will badly destroy Manny Pacquiao. But I see it's a doable fight because they're both 5'5". And I feel like Tank is a lot faster. He's 16 years younger. And that is a hell of a name on Gervonta Tank Davis' resume. Plus, that's a huge fight for Tank Davis. That's a huge fight for Tank Davis. So I hope they look into that and accept the challenge and go ahead and give Pacquiao his upper room papers. Send him to the abyss. Because I think Tank is quick, is more quicker. He's a boxer. And you know, Manny Pacquiao has problems with pure boxers. Look at Eric Morales, Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather. Boxers give Pacquiao problems. But I don't know. What y'all think about that?
Coach Queen, go ahead and go first because I got a whole lot, man. Go ahead, Coach Amber.
Well, I was actually gonna respond to Mitty Riley, and he's got a point. He said that Pacquiao's got too much pride that you know, he was trying to fight at the Olympics. I think
I thought it was the age limit.
Well, okay, the Olympic Committee denied him first of all.
Okay,
because he's too old.
And he's a champion. He's a former champion. I thought you couldn't be a champion fighting the amateur Olympics.
Well, the thing is, he's over the age limit, and after you're over a certain age limit, you're what they call a master. Basically, it's in boxing terms, it's a senior citizen where the rounds are shorter. You gotta use these big old gloves, big old headgear. He's too old to fight in the Olympics. That's basically what the committee told him.
He'd be in the senior Olympics.
There you go. There you go, Upper. If he wanted to fight amateur again, he'd have to be well, at least in USA boxing, once you go pro, you can't go back. But yeah, the Olympic Committee told him that he's too old. And I mean, it just seems like a money grab. And as far as the A side, I do agree that Tank should be the A side, but I mean, as we found out with Earl and Bud, you're the A side until you sacrifice enough not to be the A side anymore. And I wonder if Tank would do that, if Tank would succumb to Manny's demands. But I mean,
why would he? Manny calling for him. He ain't calling for Manny.
Very true, very true. But like you said, Manny brings, you know, fanatics to the table. So, I mean, I don't know. Pacquiao's kind of like Canelo, where fighters are just in awe and they just want to be on the stage in the ring with him. So I mean,
Well, you know his
I don't know.
last, Pac-Man's last pay-per-view only did 275,000 when you Davis Ugas.
True, but I mean,
Earl did more with Ugas than Pacquiao did.
well, I I believe Earl's a bigger draw in the States, but you
But
know,
I feel like Pacquiao, all his fan base and everything will come for a Tank fight because it'll be like a rehash of the Floyd fight.
well, I mean, we all know it has to do with the same dance partner because I mean, they both fought Ugas, they both fought in the States. Earl did more. Um, I mean, Pacquiao and especially the type of fan base that Tank does have, because let's be honest, Tank has the younger fan base.
Yeah.
He's got all the rappers in his pockets. He's got all the actors in his pockets, celebrities and whatnot. And then you combine that with the youngsters who they know who Pacquiao is, and they just in their mind it's just Pacquiao. So I mean, if it did happen, I would expect it to pull in money, but we all know how it's going to end.
Tank's gonna bring in the money regardless. But I feel like Pacquiao, his fan base is toxic. His fan base was really paying to see him beat Floyd. Now, Tank is the next thing to Floyd. Basically, he's Floyd's fighter. He's undefeated. Tank's they consider him like a juggernaut, and they think Pacquiao's bigger than Tank, and he's older. His fans, I seen it on the twit line. Like some of them Philippines, they really saying that Pacquiao would destroy Tank. So I know his fans will come out because he's the living legend, and his fans will come out in droves to watch him fight Tank just for another chance to beat Floyd, I think.
Exactly. Regardless of their logic, it's asses in seats and sales. I mean, you and I know what's going to happen.
Like I said, honestly, I think Pacquiao and Tank does over a $25 million gate, and I think it does about 1.5 to 2 million pay-per-view buys easy. Hell yes, Ariana, exactly. Because that would be their chance to get at Floyd to beat Tank, and they don't realize Tank gonna do him worse than Floyd did him. Tank gonna stop him. But that would be a hell of a draw. That would be a hell of a fight, and that would be a hell of a name on Tank's resume. The 8th division champion Manny Pacquiao.
Well, and you guys have made some wonderful points. This is how I feel. Tank has unfinished business at 135 and 140. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I saw the same things you saw, Upper. People were they actually believe that there are people that's actually pushing for this fight, low key, and they believe that Manny will stop Tank. Not in Filipino, he ain't gonna stop Tank. Not in Mexico, not in China. He ain't stopping Tank. The only place he's stopping at is to stop at the booth to pick up his cash after he take this L, and he gonna go home. That's what's
his wife gonna have to pick it up because he gonna be
exactly. No, he has unfinished business. Look, listen, I didn't heard Tank. This goes along with the ghetto-ness of boxing this weekend. First, we started off beautifully with Serrano. Now we went ghetto with Francis and Fury. And then Manny, first of all, I don't even know what even possessed the guy to even ask him a question about Tank Davis, who is not even in his weight classes. He's 2 weight classes down.
Because they're the same height. It's because they're the same height.
But that's how you know the significance of Tank Davis and what he's truly bringing to this arena of boxing right now. Like, that is insane. Like, fight Boots. Because he said he'll fight Boots too. He should have stopped it at He should have stopped it right then and there. Leave Tank alone. Tank is not Superman. And then you guys are calling for Tank to fight Sean O'Malley. Tank has unfinished business at 135 to 140.
Shout out to my guy Knockout Sports.
Let Devin fight Sean O'Malley. They've been going back and forth. Let Devin get that. You know what I'm saying? Let Devin get some shine. You feel me? Like, leave him up out of it. Like, Lord have mercy. Because guess what? Y'all gonna say that he fought an old Manny Pacquiao. Y'all not gonna get this man his credit. And then it's gonna be the same thing. Who has he fought? Oh, he's trying to be Floyd. Like, oh my goodness, I can hear it now. No, Tank, Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Stay in 135 to 140. If Manny Pacquiao wants to come down and fight you, let him come to 140. Damn all that, but he can't do it. And I think, but this says a lot about when a sport or a specific profession becomes your life. And I truly feel bad for Manny, because I think that this is all he know, y'all. You know what I'm saying? The man been doing it. I'm going to give him his flowers. The man been doing it for so long, you know what I'm saying, and has made a name for himself. I mean, especially coming from the Philippines. Shout out to the Filipino people. Like, when you think of the Philippines, you think of Manny Pacquiao. He has done his thing. He has nothing, to be honest with you, he has nothing else to prove. He didn't want to sleep in the ring. He didn't knock people out in the ring.
He's lost a lot of his fortune, though, when he was running for president. He lost a lot of that fortune, paying for his own presidency. So, you know, he ain't as well off as he was.
I get that. But guess what? Pitbull Cruz is his fighter. Start putting Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull shouldn't have turned down that Shakur Stevenson. Pitbull can't turn down no fights. I understand that he wants Tank Davis, but if that's the case, you have fighters underneath your belt. You need to get to marketing and promoting. I get it. You've been in a game. That's all you know. But you gonna mess around and run into one of these young bucks like a Boots that you said you would fight, and a Tank Davis like you said you would fight. And listen, you gonna be walking, you gonna be in a wheelchair like Stephen Hawkins in a minute. You better calm down. Just let it go, Manny. Let it go. But he did say too that they're supposed to have a exhibition fight with Floyd Mayweather. That's more of his speed. So if that goes through, he don't need Tank. He don't need Boots. That's another $2 million pay-per-view right there with the exhibition fight with Floyd Mayweather. And he mentioned that in that same interview. So I'm hoping that comes to fruition. Y'all leave Tank name up out of it. Tank is a 135 fighter. And he got unfinished business at 135 because I'm tired of all the talk when it comes to one of my goats right now.
I'm gonna say it like this, right? I'm gonna say it like this. Tank don't need Manny Pacquiao, right? Tank got a lot of unfinished business. But if they present that fight to Tank, I say Tank can take it for a tune-up, because I think that's all Pacquiao beef for Tank is the tune-up, because Tank that alleviated himself and is at a different level of greatness right now. And Pacquiao's too old and slow. And if Tank fought Pacquiao, because I see that the Twitter rants, how the Philippine fighters are saying that he'll stop Tank. That'd be a hell of a name on Tank's resume, but I feel like Tank gets that man out of there in 3 to 4 rounds. He gets him out of here in 3 to 4 rounds. It's nothing Pacquiao can do that Tank can't do. And Ugas went ahead and got you up out of there and beat you. Tank gonna send him to the moon. But he's trying to get a cash grab because everybody knows Tank is the cash cow. And it's crazy because fighters his size ain't trying to fight him. It's crazy that you got an old legend trying to call out Tank to get a money grab. And like I said, if they was to fight, that'll be 25 million gate plus. And I know to do 1.5 to 2 million pay-per-view buys just because they think that Pacquiao has a chance of beating Floyd Mayweather's protege Tank. That was sell.
But hold on, Upper. Can I throw a slight monkey wrench into this real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know knockout, I know. But you can't tell that to the Philippines.
You cannot knockout. That's not what they saying, bro. They are really saying that
they pushing this shit knockout.
Tank, and they really pushing for this. Go look in the video chats, man. They
salute Akafix.
But here, let me throw a monkey wrench in this real quick though. You saw what did Manny say? What did Manny say he'll go down to fight Tank at?
145.
145. So if Manny can go down 2 pounds to fight Tank, if there's an offer that I'm supposedly hearing that Tank wants Devin next, if he offers at a catchweight of 138, why would that be wrong?
I won't take the fight Devin at 140. I'm just being honest. I won't take the fight Devin at 140, so it won't be no excuses. I want him
a 2 pound would be excuses.
No, I don't want it to be no excuses. Period. I don't want it to be no catchweight. No, I don't want it to be a catchweight. Just go ahead and fight that man on his terms, so he can't say nothing. So, because you see after the round fight, everybody talking about the dehydration and all this. I feel like Tank He can handle these people without that. Tank is a skilled fighter. He's a S-class fighter, like I said. I say Devin is an A-class fighter. He's not S-class yet. But I say, look, Tank can beat them people without that. And like I said, I like the fact that Ryan's calling out Teofimo. So after Ryan fights Oscar, he wants to get Teofimo. All right. I wish Tank and Devin go ahead and get it on after this Regis fight because Tank said he next. Tank said Devin is next. So hopefully Tank can get that fight. And then after that, if Manny wants to get put to sleep for some money, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with Tank upping the bag up. I have no problem with it. But take out Devin first, then go ahead and do that.
No, as he should. I'm just saying, I thought it was quite interesting that a legend, somebody that's been in the game for so long, that Manny Pacquiao has
He
been.
sees the bag. He sees Tank bring the bag.
I know, but you know that they're not going to say. All I'm saying is, Upper, they're not going to say that with Devin. That's all I'm saying. Like if he was to do that, Tank will get drugged through the mud. But Manny Pacquiao was saying, "Yo, 145." You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying that was quite interesting to me.
Yeah, but Tank still wouldn't even come in that high. He'd probably come in at 140 at the most, so he can keep his speed and everything over there. Salute, Big Dose. Aquafex, salute. Kansas City Max, salute. Like, yeah. I think my boy, brother Kale probably want to say something. Let me drop this link. But yeah, like, I don't mind, but I know that fight will sell. Like, if it's a money thing, that fight will sell more than taking Ryan. Because he got these fanatical fans, and you see the narrative they pushing already. And Tank won't even have to go all the way up with that weight. Tank can probably go to 138, 140 and still stop Pacquiao. Tank is just that stupid.
I think it would need a strong undercard to help it sell.
Nah, I'm telling you, Pacquiao and Tank will sell just off the Floyd and Pacquiao narrative. They will sell it just off of that. Because Floyd and Pacquiao did $4 million.
Well, I guess I'm speaking for me personally. It would have to have a strong undercard for me personally to buy it. Because if it's some BS on the undercard and it's just Manny and Tank, you know, I might stream it. But they would have to stack the undercard.
Bullet, you said Key Devin is much bigger than Manny. I get that. I understand that. I was just making the inference, you know, just from what I heard. But at the same time, no, I want it to be an even playing field. I'm not against Tank fighting at 140. I just said it was just interesting. It was just an observation that I had noticed, actually, that I heard. So that's all. That is definitely all. But I think Tank has unfinished business at 135 to 140. There is shout out to L-Dub Boxing. You guys make sure y'all follow L-Dub Boxing. But one thing that I am hearing is one of the rumors that he said was that Tank is versus one of the Garys. I know some of us has heard that already. But I'm thinking that who could be in the running would probably be Gary Antoine Russell Jr. What do you think about that, Coach Amber and Upper?
Wouldn't that be pulling him up?
Give me a sec. Y'all go ahead. Give me a sec.
Go ahead, Coach. What you say, Coach?
Wouldn't that be pulling Gary up?
No, you're talking about the one at 126. The other one that's at 140. The other brother who has like 16 fights. No, was it 19 or 16 fights?
So yeah, because there's like 9 Garys. So you're talking about Tank versus Gary at 140?
Yes.
Well, that's a double-ended blade because it's like, okay, so is Gary gonna drop 5 pounds? Is he gonna bring him down, or is Tank gonna go up? And if Tank goes up, you know that's gonna start a shitstorm with the Haney fans. Like,
no, I don't know. See, I think that he's going to go up and fight him at 140. Because if that's the case, he might as well just wait for the brother that's at 126 to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that one, and I don't want him fighting Gary that's at 126. He won't get credit for that one either, because Gary although I like the Russells, let me put this out here. I love the Russells. God rest their father's soul. He did a heck of a job with them boys. You know what I'm saying? But Gary, ever since, to me, in my opinion, he needs to run it back with Loma. To be honest with you, if he's gonna come up and fight anybody, he needs to run it back with Loma. But he hasn't had a fight. He's been calling out Tank for years and has never moved up to 130 or 135. But for some odd reason, he really wants to fight Tank.
It's not an odd reason. We know what the reason is.
I mean, yeah,
It's not that odd.
but still, though, like, you ain't never, like, you don't even want to tune up first. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
why I don't think Gary's ready to play.
It's not odd.
But I think he's trying to get up there and get that bag before, but he's saying he can. But I mean, we don't know. Maybe Gary got more power, but Gary Jr., he got to at least show me a fight like against Esau Cruz or somebody. Show me that you can beat a fight with a person at 135. I don't want you to get in there and you just be a dub for Tank. Now I feel like if you come up there and fight Esau Cruz, and if you can beat Esau Cruz, then yeah, I would like to see you versus Tank. But I don't want to see you just come up here and fight Tank and then you get knocked out in one round or two. Nah, I ain't trying to see that. That's a dub right there.
well,
That's kind of a catch-22. Like, okay, first of all, let's clarify. We're talking about Twan or Junior, because Twan is at 140, right?
we're talking about Antoine. I was just making the inference with the younger, you know what I'm saying, the one that's at the younger, the lower weight class.
No, Gary Russell Jr. is the one that's been calling out Tank. The one at 126.
I know,
The
but
little one.
there's being reports over by L Dub Boxing that that supposedly, allegedly, and L Dub hasn't let me down yet. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. But that there are talks for Tank versus Gary Antoine as well. That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, it doesn't matter which
I
Gary
thought Gary Antoine
he
had
fights.
problems with Devin. I thought Gary Antoine and Devin had unfinished business. I thought Antoine had problems with Devin. That's what I
don't
thought.
know. That's what I'm hearing.
Doesn't really matter whichever Gary he fights. If he fights the Gary at 140, that's gonna, unleash, the Haney fans. Well, if he fights him at 140, why can't he fight Dev? If he fights the lighter one, it's gonna be perceived that, oh, you pulled him up. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm just going off of what Elda have reported. That's all. And I think, and he's the one that's been calling a lot of these showdowns prior to anybody having the information. And that was his last word, was that it was one of the Garys that was in negotiations now or being talked about. One thing that everybody can agree on is the fact that Tank and his team are very hush-hush on who he has coming up next. And to be honest with you, I like the mysteriousness of it. I like who is he fighting? You know what I'm saying? The anticipation of it. But they better not be doing all of this for Pitbull Cruise. Like, just come out and say Pitbull. You feel me? But from my understanding, it was one of the two Garys in the run. That was my understanding of it. And if that was to happen, Washington, D.C., that stadium out there will be sold out in 5 minutes. Either Gary, that stadium selling out, versus Tank, that stadium selling out. And Bullet, you said my money on Antoine to win that fight. Nah, I think Tank stops him. I think Tank stops him under 9, to be honest with you. With Gary Antoine versus Tank. I think it's gonna be Tank is gonna if he fights Gary Antoine, he gonna beat him just because of the fact of his brother talking so much stuff to let him know, like, listen, I just beat your brother, now you know I beat you too. You get what I'm saying? Like one of those type of statements. I think so. We can disagree on that one, but I think that Tank gets Gary Antoine. If that's the case, I don't know why would he want to fight him then. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Styles makes fight. That's all I'm going to say. Styles make fights. Antoine and Tank is a 50-50 fight. We'll see. No, Ariana Queen, I wasn't talking about that, Russell, for 126. I'm talking about the brother at 140. The brother at 140, he just had a fight. He stopped I I call him a model. He looked like a model. He was a cute young little man. And he stopped him in, I think, under 2. He's on a streak outside of, I think he has either the second or the third largest knockout rate in boxing right now, that Gary Antoine Russell. That's a dangerous fight. I ain't gonna lie. That's a very dangerous fight, but I still think that Tank will pull it off. What you think? What you think, Coach? And
I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, yeah, I lean towards Tank, but he's gonna win and lose at the same time. Because I believe he will win that fight, but he will lose because he will get all this backlash. Why can you fight this fighter at 140 and not the other? Like, I'm starting to feel like, yeah, this whole boxing thing is starting to become as the world turns. I think he would win, but I think he would catch a lot of heat for it. It would add more pressure.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that what will happen is because Devin is already fighting Regis, and that's a great fight in December. So let's say that Tank announces a 140 fight. Let's say it's Gary Antoine. Let's say it's Tio. Hell, let's say it's Sean O'Malley, because Tank's and possible opponents have been all these names that's been dropped for the past month or two. Let's just run them down the list. Manny Pacquiao just got added to that list. So, there was people calling for Tank and Crawford and Tank and Canelo. So, I mean, let's run all these names down. Whoever he fights, is still...
Aren't they all 140 or above, though?
Exactly. But they still wouldn't be, in my humble opinion, because Devin is already fighting in December, he still has to have 3 months to recover. So a true boxing fan will know that, no, Devin and Tank, because of their schedule, supposedly Tank is fighting in February. Devin is fighting in December. If them two was to meet anyway, whether Tank fights at 135 or 140, they won't be able to fight.
Oh, yeah.
They could meet in the summer.
Yeah, of course. The quarters don't match up because, exactly. When they schedule first quarter, second quarter, I mean, we know Tank is going to fight in the first quarter of 2024. Devin's in the last quarter of 2023. And
summertime. They meet in the summer.
Yeah. Spring would be too soon. It would have to be summertime or December of next year, or fall or December of next year. Absolutely.
Tank took a fight in March, then took one in the summer. So Tank has a quick turnaround. You know what I'm saying? Like Tank, he turns around after 3 months, and Devin, he might need a little bit extra to make that weight.
Would he take a quick turnaround for Devin?
Huh?
Do you think he would take a quick turnaround for Devin?
Fuck yeah. Don't you know the quicker you turn around, the more sharper you is in the next fight? You know what I'm saying? So, you want to be sharp. That's why a lot of fighters like to take fights and then take another fight right behind it because you look sharper in the next fight. That's why they take tune-up fights. You know what I'm saying?
Let me rephrase because me and you are both thinking from athletes' point of view. Do you think the suits would slap together something? Yeah, let me rephrase my question. Because as athletes, like, hell yeah, turn around quick. But the suits, honestly,
with Garcia and Garcia, they can take a quick turnaround. But like I said, they got all these names for Tank. They still trying to get Gary Russell Jr. in there with Tank too, because he's still been calling out Tank for the last 10 years. So he say, he wants that Tank fight. But like I said, I want to see Gary Russell fight somebody at 135. Like he's been at 126 all this time. And I seen what happened when he fought a bigger Lomachenko. Yes, he did good at the end parts, but it was some parts where Lomachenko was using that size on him. And Tank is more stocky than Loma is. You feel what I'm saying? And that was Loma at a smaller weight. Like you coming up to 135, buddy. Like I said, Pitbull Cruz would be the perfect test for Gary Russell Jr. Pitbull would be a perfect test. It'd be a short, stocky fighter who has decent power. And if you can't outbox Isaac Cruz, then there's no way you're going to be able to get in there with Tank Davis. I'm sorry. Like, if you can outbox Isaac Cruz and keep yourself from getting getting hurt with Isaac Cruz or not beating him, then I don't want to see you with Tank Davis because then it'll be a severe mismatch. And the only reason I'm saying Isaac Cruz because that's who's calling for Tank. You know what I'm saying? That's who's calling for Tank. Y'all both calling for Tank. I say put y'all both together. And I still don't think Isaac should get the fight. But still, I feel like if Gary Russell could if Gary Russell is what he say he is, the Isaac Cruz shouldn't be no type of problem for him. It should be like it should be easy like Sunday morning. Like that's what I'm saying right there. He should be able to outbox, outmaneuver. You see, Giovanni Cabrera made it easy. You know what I'm saying? So Giovanni made it easy. He's a better athlete than Giovanni Cabrera. Like Gary Russell used to be called the fastest man, the fastest hands in boxing. So if you got the fastest hand in boxing, I should see you destroy this Isaac Cruz guy with speed and diligence and with ring generalship. And if you can't do that, then why would I want to see you in there with arguably one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world? Like it's no reason for that unless you're trying to get a payday. And I don't want to stop the man from getting his payday. No, I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to pay for a dud either. Like if I want to see you get in the ring with Tank, I want it to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like you coming up for 126. I don't see that's more that you have a better chance of beating Monster anyway coming up to 126 than you do coming up to 135 and beating Tank. That's how I feel.
That is true. And Ariana, to answer you say you're talking about Russell Jr. is the one that's calling him out. Yes, but both brothers have been calling him out. And LW Boxing, he's reported he gets like the inside scoop on potential and future fights. And to be honest with you, the man got like a 98, 99% accuracy rate. Like I swear to God, it's crazy. I don't even know how LW does it, but shout out to LW. And he was reporting that he last heard that one of the Garys were in, you know what I'm saying, were in contact with Tank Davis' team. So we don't know if it's Gary. No, not the young. No, he said both of them. He said both of them.
Okay, I thought you said he said one of them.
No, he said both of them. He just don't know which one is going to take it or what, you know what I'm saying. But no, he said both.
Well, I don't think the Antoine Russell fight big enough yet, so I don't think they're gonna do him yet. The Antoine Russell, I mean, he's good, but he really hasn't fought nobody. When he fought Bartholomew, like Bartholomew actually made him look kind of, average, and he couldn't get Postal up, but they gave him that one. Like, I would have to see Gary Russell fight somebody with a name first. Like, honestly, I would like to. I mean, he did turn down a championship fight as well. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he was supposed to fight Pacquio, and he didn't want to take that fight. He felt like he needed to do some more training, so he went back to the drawing room before he fought that Pacquio. And yes, his last fight, he knocked the dude out in the first round, but that dude was, he was basically, I mean, he was there to get hit. He was there. He was there to get done like that. So he really hasn't showed me nothing. I seen him with adversity versus Bartholomew, and I felt like they stopped that too expeditiously because I felt like Francis Bartholomew was giving him everything he can handle. And it was like as soon as they seen a break in the action, they would hurry up and stop it. And I felt like Bartholomew was still coherent. And I felt like they shouldn't have stopped it like that. And they know they shouldn't have stopped it like that. It was controversy. And I hate when a boxing match ends on controversy like that. I hate it. Just like they gave him the Victor Postal stop. Victor Postal, it was a couple seconds left. And I felt like Victor Postal still had all his faculties. But to keep the legacy going, to keep the knockout streak going, I felt like they bent the rules and gave him the stoppage. Because I felt like Victor Postal was not hurt. Like, I felt like he was still good. Anthony Latham, peace and blessings, King. Salute. And it's just like, and he's in his knockout streak, he got the knockout streak like Demetrius, like Better BF and Ortiz. Both of them got that knockout streak. Ortiz and Better BF, they all got all knockouts. Zachy is Zach B. Salute. And let me get my boy Aquaflex his moderator shit. I thought he had it.
I like what you said, Zach B. A lot of these titles, these boxers need a check because they are not getting paid properly. So the call out the breadwinners, they don't care if they win or lose. Please pay our boxers better. Okay, so I do agree with that. But one thing that I do realize about boxing is that it is a kill what you eat sport. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like some of these boxers too, they gotta put themselves into positions to be fighting these people. You know, and then but then again, that makes you scratch your head as to why a lot of these fighters, only a couple of them that are really calling out the cash cows. You know what I'm saying? Like Benavidez been calling out Canelo, Boo Boo been calling out Canelo, and Pitbull Cruz has been calling out Tank for a 135 fight. You know, Shakur wants it to marinate a little bit more. I can see where he's going with that because he wants the best money for that fight. So I get it. Who else?
Kawhi, hold on 1 second, Key. Kawhi, I'm not denying that he's not one of the best at 140, but Pistol could have lasted that last 13 seconds, bro. He could have lasted that last 13 seconds, Kawhi. The man was missing the last couple shots. Like Pistol was still good for them last couple seconds, bro. Like I seen it coming though. I seen that they would keep it going. Go ahead, Key. My bad.
It's okay.
Kawhi.
No, it's okay. Shout out to Kawhi. But yeah, that's, you know, they got to put themselves in better positions. And that's why it's so important when you guys are saying, you know, does money matter? You know, just make the fights and everything else. Like y'all don't realize the amount that it takes for a production of a fight to be made.
And a loss will drop you back down. You might get up to 250,000 a fight, and then you get a loss.
And let me speak on that when you're done with that, Keith. Like, yeah,
Okay.
let me speak on after you're done, like on the production of it.
Okay, like you have vendors, you know what I'm saying? You have vendors that are there that are, I mean, if y'all have ever been to a fight, like like a PBC fight or a top rank, you got vendors that are there. You have to cover insurance. Insurance is expensive. As a business owner, I could tell y'all myself, insurance
PBC
is
ain't got to do that.
expensive.
That's why they use PBC. That's why they use private contractors.
Right.
PBC.
That's not expensive though either. Like everything with leased out, that's still not expensive. I'm just getting into the numbers of it.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention the fighters. Then you got then you got the lawyers, the management, the coaches. Let me see what else. Nutritionists, dietitians. Let me see, strength and conditioning coaches. Like, yo, it's the production. You know what I'm saying? And everybody want to eat. Everybody want to get paid for this.
Like what Key was saying, if a fighter gets $1 million check, let's say a fighter gets 1.1 million, he'll probably walk home with about 450, maybe 500K off of 1.1 million. Because that's him paying his trainers, he's paying for the training camp, he's paying the fees, the tax, everything. So when they get like $1 million payday, they don't see about half of that, not even half sometimes. So people don't realize it. That's why. And then, like we said, only 1% of boxers ever really get $1 million paycheck. So you know, boxing, it's a numbers game a lot, especially when you're coming up in the ranks. So when you finally do become the big fish, like when you become the dude that makes the draw, then everybody calls you out. Like when Earl, didn't nobody want to fight Earl until after Mikey Garcia. Then after Mikey Garcia, you see even Keith Thurman was trying to get that Earl smoke because he seen people that never made $1 million got paid. Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Ugas. These people all never made $1 million until they fought Earl Spence.
Yeah. Not to mention, too, you guys see what Tio been talking about. Hell, he retired 72 times in 1 month because of how much he is being paid. You know what I'm saying? But look, that's why I don't put weight, like you guys put a lot of weight on these fighters calling Tank out. Like, I don't put weight on that type of stuff because no disrespect to Tio, he has a hell of a resume. Yes, his resume is way better than Tank's because of those last few fights that he's had. However, Tio can't sell.
I wouldn't say
he's not in a position, huh?
I wouldn't say it's way better than Tanks because I feel like the Barrios fight and the Ryan Garcia, I think that put him right there with Tio because he ain't got that loss either.
Right. Yes. Yes. You're absolutely right. I always forget about the loss because that's what made him. Yeah. Okay. Get it. But I'm just saying though, like he can't sell. He's not selling out. You know what I'm saying? So of course T.O. is going to want to fight Tank. Of course he's going to say the most outlandish things towards him and get his name out there. Because he's, we trying to figure out, is it Gordo still, or is we still, are we okay?
Yeah, this man got $1 million for fighting Josh Taylor.
Exactly. He quit 72 times, retired 72 times because of that. He was pissed. But yet y'all get on Tank because the numbers got to be right. Y'all can't have it both ways. Now when they start 90-10 is these dudes, I don't want to hear nothing. Because you got to pay what you weigh as well. Coach Amber, go ahead and cook, Queen.
Okay. As far as the production, what you were talking about earlier, Queen, I mean, okay, I got so many thoughts running through my mind because you covered a lot of ground.
I'm sorry, take your time.
Okay, to hold a fight, like just as an amateur, okay. Venue. If your venue is able to hold enough people, cool. But you have to rent a venue, okay? You also have to apply to whatever commission, and you have to pay them. I believe just in USA Boxing alone, like yes,
mandate the fight.
I think USA Boxing, amateur boxing is Pee-wee. So imagine times 10 on $1 million scale. How about that? So you gotta rent the venue. You gotta pay for the ring. You gotta pay for the ring to be set up. And on the cheap side, just in amateurs, I think it's like a $700, $800 ring rental.
Well, that's why they got Tom Brown promotions. Like Tom Brown promotions, like that's how the people do it. They got Tom Brown promotions. What Tom Brown promotions is, that's the ones that brought apart the boxing menus and set it up and do all that right there. So anytime they got a fight, that's when they get paid. Tom Brown promotions, they get the menu, they get the venue, all that stuff. That's what they do. And
but all that comes into money invested. All that comes into money invested, right?
Yes, it does. They're taking a percentage out of that.
Because you have to pay. First of all, you have to go to the commission. You have to pay them whatever they want to pay to secure that date. And in turn, you also have to secure the venue and make sure that they coincide. Because you might be able to secure a date, but the venue don't match. Like, that's a headache within itself.
Salute T. Wills.
Once you get those planets aligned, and then, okay, like Tom Brown Promotions, they have their own crew, but I mean, those people get it paid too. I'm pretty sure that's going to come out of it. I mean, I've set up a ring before, and it's a pain in the ass. That is the one thing I can't do, is set up a ring. Okay? And then, like you said, vendors. You got to pay vendors. You got to pay the doctor. The doctor is a must. You got to pay the officials. Like, there is a lot of intricate work that goes in to just hosting. There's a lot of promoters that even like breaking even. I mean, to me, that's a bust. I mean, even on the amateur level, you can drop $5,000 to put on an event to make 5,001. And it's just for the kids. So I can only imagine the stakes that are that high at a professional level. But luckily, they can overcharge for tickets. And I mean, they do at the amateur level too, where they'll charge more for ringside.
You know something? Let me cut you off right there for 1 second, Coach Amber. Do you know like the average
Hold on, wait, Upper. Right? So somebody's mic is rubbing. So when someone's talking, probably mute. There you go.
All right. So the average boxing fight, it averages around 120 to 250K to set up and get everything situated. And that's coming off the top.
Now, if it's a big event with a pay-per-view and everything, it can run up to $1 million to $2 million. So that's coming off the top right there. That's what the people get paid, and that's what the judges getting paid, the referees, because you got a different referee for each fight. You got different judges for each fight. Then you got to get the doctors. So everybody's getting paid something different. That's why, if say like you have a big pay-per-view fight like Spence versus Crawford, right? They had about $3 million in expenses, then probably had another $7 million in the undercards and stuff like that. So they had $10 million off the top that they had to pay off before they could smooth anything out. Same probably in the Canelo Alvarez fight. But normally in most fights, they have about 250 that they have to pay out off the top with the sales and all that stuff. But you know, they make it back on the ticket sales, and if it's pay-per-view, that's when they start getting that. But they also have the vendors, and they have promoters, and they have promotion companies like people like Sports Betting and DraftKings that they pay millions to host the event. And if you got like a huge fight, a Vegas venue like the MGM or something, they might pay you, and you don't have to pay for that venue. They might pay to have your thing there just so they can have it there so the big gamblers will be there. So that's why Floyd does a lot of his fights up there. He doesn't have to pay for his Vegas venues because they will accommodate him at the venue because they know the money that they can make off Floyd being there. It's all about what you know and who you know. And then when they do that, then you know DraftKings or people like that like to sponsor, they're also paying as well. And see, that's what the promoters didn't used to let the boxers get. And that's what Al Heyman has been opening the doors for boxers to get those right there. Because all they was getting was, you know, their little upfront fee. But Al Heyman made it where they can get the upfront. If most of the time they don't get an upfront, but they get the back end, they get their promotion, and they get shots of the vendors. But yeah, it's a lot of money that changes hands in a boxing match. Especially when the gambling, because the gambling that supersedes all that. Like, say, like all the money that Earl and Crawford made, right? It was more than that on the books being gambled. More than that was getting gambled on that fight than what was made. Like gambling, they got round betting, all that right there. People spend millions of dollars gambling.
Bet on even or odd.
Yeah, even an odd round bet, like knockouts, which round, all that stuff. Like Vegas makes a killing doing a big fight, and it always even up because somebody is betting the wrong way. And one thing you never hear is house loses. House never loses. It always wins. Always.
That is true because it's rumored that Vegas made. They said for the Tank and Ryan fight that they made almost $300 million just for that whole weekend. That's what the rumor. That's what I heard. That they walked away with some millions after that fight.
Yeah, they said they walked away with $250 million, but $300 million, that's more than $250 million. So I believe that. But they said that they made over $250 million in the Tank and Ryan fight. Plus, they also had a closed circuit of the Tank and Ryan as well, where they closed off a venue where people could come in there and watch it for like $100 tickets, closed circuit. Just like they had a boxing match, but it's a closed venue. It got all the stuff that a boxing match has, but you got that big screen that the fight's on.
They did that out here where they opened up the whole stadium for the whole venue. You can buy popcorn, hot dogs, whatever, and you just watch it on the big screen. It's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just like going to a fight, but it's just a big screen where everybody can see everything right there. And they got a big screen. They got other little monitors. Like it's like going to the basketball game and you watching it on that big ass jumbotron. And they have it closed off, and you can have it just like you have all the concession stands and all that, just like you at the fight. But the fighters are not there.
Yeah, so I just, and you guys, y'all know the business of boxing better than I do. I'm just a spectator.
Nah, you in it too. You learning it.
But I just
told you about that. You're more than a spectator. You were
like I told you, next year me and Key gonna be going to the fight. As soon as I get my health all the way together, she gonna come to the fights with me next year with me and the wife. We gonna check out these fights and get these interviews going.
for sure.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying to you, Dixon. It's called closed circuit fights. Nate Dogg, D1, my guy, what up? And Coach Amber, you got some kind of rubbing going on with your thing, Coach Amber.
It only occurs when it's not muted. But go ahead, Coach. What were you gonna say?
Am I still sounding crazy?
Nope. Go ahead, Queen.
Have you ever been to a fight live, Keith?
Yes, local fights, not a main fight though.
Professional fight.
Yes, I have.
I don't know. I mean, it's different.
I'm
It's
gonna tell you
different.
like this: if we get Tank versus Devin next year, we going. Upper echelon boxing is going. We are going up there to that fight. I will holler at them, get them tickets.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to those fights. But just to, reiterate of what Coach Amber and what Upper was saying, which was so true. The reason why a lot of these fights can't be made is because of the fact of the money. Like Coach Amber said, if you break even, that's technically a bust. You don't want to break even. I never I mean, I get it when you're starting out, when you can recoup your money back, that's a good thing, but you're always looking for a net profit. That's what this business is about. It's about a profit. So certain fights are not ready to happen. And Shakur knows what he has to do to get that Tank fight, because he can very well see that is, like he said, the Super Bowl of boxing. And I 100% agree with him. I do, but we can't, you know what I'm saying? Just, oh, well, this fighter is this and this fighter is that, because the fights aren't happening. They will happen, like Leonard Ellerbe always say. They will happen and do when it's ready. You know what I'm saying? So then y'all getting knocked out. You done lost your O for $2 million, and 1.5 of that got to go to the back end of the people that you didn't hire to get you ready for this fight. Come on, man. And you only walking away with 500K for an O loss?
And
Come
that's
on,
why
man.
Frank
That's why.
Martin, and that's
Oh,
why Frank Martin didn't take that Shakur fight because Frank Martin, he was getting 1 million, but Shakur was getting 5. And yes, it's 4 times what Frank Martin done got, but Shakur was getting 5 million, which is double what he's done got. Like, and the reason why he was getting so much is because Frank Martin was on that card. See, your dance partner also brings a certain type of revenue too, because they know what they can market that fight for. Because people would have paid to see that. But Frank, even though he hadn't had the big money fights right there, they try to use that as leverage right there. That's just like saying, like, Skywalker boxing, salute King, peace and blessings. But yeah, like, you got to realize, even though he wasn't used to getting that type of money, you're getting that type of money now because he's on that card. Just like, even though a lot of people talk about Devin trying to give Shakur 25%. Yes, I see what he was doing, but you got to remember Shakur brings his own fans as well. So you sit here taking 3 times as much as this man right here when his fans are coming as well. Because him and Loma did 150K. So we don't know how much Devin's fans is. We're gonna see versus this Regis fight. And I hate the fact that they got it on the zone, because the zone is not a great place to put a pay-per-view on. It's just really not. Hell, Canelo only does like 500K on the zone because Canelo only does like 500K on the zone because it's just a hassle, and their pay-per-view is not that great. They need to invest in their pay-per-view model so they can get more people there. But we'll see what Devin's pay-per-view looks like, and then we'll see what his drawing potential is. Hopefully, it resonates with as much as his people are talking about. I hope they pay for the fight, because they're giving us good fights. Hey, Ping, she got it on mute. Ping's talking about your mic noise, Coach Amber. It's okay. She got it on mute. But go ahead, Key.
but yeah, then that's a very, very, very good point. And then not to mention, just with man, these men, let me tell you something. Shakur's team, you know what I'm saying? When you get into Jay Prince and all of that, they're not cheap. You get what I'm saying? He has a very great team. I keep saying it. So y'all gotta take all
And
these
he has to
expensive.
pay Jay Prince and Bob Arum. So, see, he has two
Exactly. He
managers.
has two managers. He has to pay two people, not to mention the coaches, nutritionists, everything. Not to mention he still got a family to feed. You know what I'm saying? He got a beautiful daughter. He got a beautiful fiance. Like, come on, man. Like, all that stuff is upkeep. So, and then it's not like these people have health care that's guaranteed, dental care, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, listen, y'all got to stop being so hard on these fights that's not ready to happen yet financially, because this is a business. You know what I'm saying? This is a business, and we should be applauding people like Al Heyman and Floyd for giving these fighters a lot more, you know what I'm saying, than these other networks. You get what I'm saying? Like, we have to applaud them for doing that, because they're walking away with money to where, like Danny Garcia, he can pick fights now. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 105. He can really pick fights. You know, like he told
Even
Bud,
Jamal Charlo.
yeah,
And Jamal
exactly.
Charlo ain't even had no huge pay-per-view fight. But
Exactly.
Jamal Charlo, he was able to sit out for boxing, and he's done made good investments because of Al Heyman. And now Jamel, he can do a lot more now because he just got that big Canelo fight. But still, before they even got them big fights, Al Heyman had them rich guys, had them rich.
And that's what I want to see for all these boxers. If you guys recall, about a week ago, I said, man, like, I would never, you know what I'm saying, just all the way just trash a fighter, because they are putting their lives they're putting their lives on the line every time they step into that ring. Really, every time they step into a ring. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get traumatically hurt during sparring as well. You know, so we have to be mindful of these things and just wait for it. Um, just wait for these fights to happen. The
Actually,
good thing about Tank,
actually, Jay Dixon, you're wrong right there. You said there's no reason for Frank not to take that fight. If he's already counting a loss before it happens, then don't fight to get in that eliminator spot. It was a bad look. He actually didn't fight to get into the WBC eliminator spot. He's the number one contender for the WBA. That's the one he fought for. He fought the eliminator spot with Rivera to fight Tank, and he's Tank's number one contender. WBC, Shakur went down the line, and Frank Martin was like number 5, number 6 over there. The other people that were supposed to fight Shakur passed up, like Loma. You got Loma that passed up. You got Zepeda, all them passed up. He wasn't fighting to be WBC. He was fighting for WBA. You feel what I'm saying, Jay Dixon? So WBC mandated him, but he wasn't in the WBC loop. He just was ranked on all the sanctioning bodies, but the belt that Frank Martin and them was going for was the WBA from the beginning. That's why he fought the number one contender, the mandatory Michelle Rivera. That's why he fought Rivera. That's why he fought Jackson Marinez. You know, those people that Rolly fought to get up there to fight Tank. So he's been fighting in that division, and the WBC tried to pull him over there to their belt. So it wasn't like he was going for the WBC belt. He has always tried to go for the WBA. The WBC just had him ranked up there and thought that they could sanction a fight with him and Shakur. When Frank Martin, his fight is for Tank. That's who he's been wanting to fight, is Tank. And, you know, I understand, because if he loses versus Tank, that's a big payday. That's a huge payday. Whether he wins or loses versus Tank, he will get his money's worth. But that's who he wants to fight, is Tank. And that's whose line that he's in. He's the number one over there in the WBA, not WBC. And see, that's the difference. It's got all these different belts. So WBC couldn't get their top 4 people to fight Shakur. So then they tried to pull in the number one contender from the WBA belt. And that's what Frank Martin is, the number one for the WBA. So we really can't blame Frank Martin for not doing that. I mean, you can, but that's not what's his intentions. He didn't fight no WBC eliminators or nothing like that. Everything he fought was WBA. You know, I just keep it 100 over here. I don't like to spit no propaganda. Salute Akello Neller.
And that is true. Akello said, Akko Flex, way too many champions at once. Well, you know, with these different belts and everything, that's just another money grab because of them fees. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, these people got to get paid one way or another. You understand? So I get the play here, and it also gets boxers more exposure. You know what I'm saying? To hold these championships, get them under their rank and everything else. I get it. but it can get very, very confusing, especially when you fight all these people, you become their mandatory, and then the champion don't even have to fight you. Cough, cough, Canelo.
Hey,
That's what
J.A.
gets me.
Oh, yeah, that's it. But J.A., look at the fighters that Frank Martin has fought. Michelle Rivera, he was Tank's mandatory. That's who he fought. Jackson Mariñez, he was in there to fight Tank, and right up on the Rolly. He hasn't been fighting WBC fighters. He's been fighting the people that was above him on the WBA rank. That's what's ranking. See, it's 4 ranking bodies, and some fighters move up different ones. Like Ryan Garcia was up on the WBC, but he wanted WBA to fight Tank, and he moved up to WBA and became Tank's mandatory. And that's what Frank is trying to do. He's trying to become Tank's mandatory on the WBA. He can care less about the WBC. And I mean, some fighters, belts are worth different than the others. The WBA is the most prestigious belt. It's the first belt. And a lot of people respect that. And the belt that Tank has is the first belt that was made. Even though the super belt came later, but Tank has the original belt. And that's the belt that man's going for. Go ahead, Key.
Yep, and that's a fact. And I still have my reservations with that whole talk with Frank Martin and everything. I think that we'll find out more about it. I wouldn't be surprised if next year a surprise fight with Tank and Frank Martin does pop up, since the narrative is that Tank don't fight black fighters. So I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of fights on the horizon. I stand by my point that I made last week, where I said that I feel as though the way that boxing is going as a whole, as far as the Zone and Top Rank and PBC, all of these networks, I feel as though all of them have come to an understanding, whether it was with them all talking, which I doubt, or just by them realizing the climate that we're in when it comes to professional boxing, period. I think that a lot of these fighters are going to have to start to fight. I really feel that way. I feel as though, we saw that with Jermell, with Jermell Charlo, with Canelo. He had to, you know what I'm saying, go up there, make his money. I feel like a lot of people are about to start fighting now. Like they have, like 2024. Hey, coach, 2024 is going to surprise a lot of people with the fights that we have lined up, that we have not heard about. But just with the mix of, I think Upper mentioned that it was the Zone that lost $2 billion. We already know that Top Rank is losing, cutting employees. That happened.
Well, the ESPN is talking about getting rid of Top Rank. But
exactly.
J.A. Dixon, I agree with you. Yeah, he shouldn't have won negotiations, but he went in negotiations to see what the bag would have been like. And when he seen that he was only getting $1 million and Shakur was getting $5 million, he said, hell nah, he pulled out. That's why. But you can't tell a fighter what he's worth and what he should get. I mean, he felt like the risk was not high. I mean, the reward wasn't high enough for the risk. And he felt like probably for that price right there, he can go to Tank and get triple that and have a even better fight. Because if he lose the Tank, he'll still be a bigger star.
Yep, that's more exposure. And that's what you want, to be honest with y'all. Like, that's what you want for your fighters. That's what you want for a William Zepeda. That's what you want for a Shakur Stevenson. The rest of these fighters that are just really now really trying to find their way and get those big fights, you want them to fight top contenders that have the marketing and the push behind them. Let me put this into perspective for y'all, okay? Devin Haney has a fight coming up. He has been going on a press tour. I applaud him for that. But if y'all look at those numbers, the most I've seen that those press conferences or those PR interviews that he's getting for this upcoming fight is doing 20,000 to maybe 30 to 40,000 views. Okay. That might sound good. That might sound great. I'm proud of him. But when you compare that to Tank Davis putting out a 30-second clip of him hitting the pads,
7-second clip.
A 7-second clip of him hitting a pad, of him hitting mitts for, I think he hit it, like 40 times in 7 seconds.
Went worldwide viral.
That went 1 million views within a couple of hours. Do y'all get what I'm saying?
And that's only on one platform. It was even on the news. They had it on Boxing Scene. They had it on ESPN.
Exactly. It went everywhere. When you have a fight coming up, and the biggest thing that, you know, like with Shakur got a fight coming up in about 16 days. And the most entertainment we're getting from him is John.
How many days, Ski? How many days? How many days, Ski?
16, if I'm not mistaken. And we are getting conversation about his child's mother, you know, being for the AKA streets, whatever that, you know what I'm saying? That's between Shakur and his fiance. It ain't got nothing to do with us. But at the same time, it's out there. We not talking about people ain't talking about De Los Santos and Shakur. They talking about that now with him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting a perspective into play that Tank can do that in 7 seconds. And other people got to get other type of marketing and media push to get their fights out there. And it still don't hit on what Tank and Canelo put out his video of him training about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. He's back training again. That got over 800,000 views on the platform. And it was about a 20-second clip. That's what I'm meaning about these fighters, of what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? The media and the push behind them. So I understand why so many people are saying Canelo's name. I understand why people are saying Spence's name. I understand why people are saying Tank's name, because they have the clout as far as media goes, the attention goes. And if we can come to those terms and understanding that, I think boxing to be in a greater place as to why these fighters are not or you know what I'm saying, aren't able to make the big fights. They have nothing behind them right now. But it's our platforms such as Uppers, KQKC, LDub, other, you know, KO's channel, the Rise podcast, that are putting these fighters in the forefront that you don't hear about every day. Because to be honest with you, Tank is my boy, but I'm tired of hearing about him. Like, dang, can we talk about somebody else for once that got a fight coming up? You know what I'm saying? Let's put some media out about them. Like, good God. That's all I got. Coach, what you got, Queen?
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Can we get this seems like Lindsay Lohan, how do you call it? Mean Girls. Like, I'm so tired of the drama. If they gonna fight, let them fight.
Exactly. And those fights will come. Like I said, in 2024, we about to get a whole lot of fights, y'all. We're gonna get a whole, like, people gotta pay their weight. People gotta pay their weight. Go ahead, Upper.
And what I say, right? Look, even though, like I said, people say what Frank didn't do, but like I said, Eastside Cruz, his biggest claim to fame was getting his ass whooped by a one-handed Tank. He ain't did nothing since. He looked real bad lately, but people are still calling for him because of the Tank loss. If Frank Martin get in there with Tank and looks good, decent, even if he loses, that boosts his star status. Rolly gets knocked out and gets a championship belt the next fight. Barrios gets knocked out, get an interim championship fight with Keith Thurman. What's up, Rick Timms? And then he becomes an intern champion after that. So see, like I said, Tank, a loss to Tank, it gains you exposure because it's putting you on a big stage where people can see what you can do, and you get exposure for it, even in the loss. Canelo got his biggest exposure getting his ass whooped by Floyd. Pacquiao got his biggest exposure getting his ass whooped by Floyd.
Upper, can I ask you a question?
Hold on one second. Conor McGregor got his biggest exposure getting his ass whooped by Floyd. Like, a lot of these fighters, their biggest exposure is their ass whooped, and they're going against high fighters. And you know, if Frank Martin was going to lose, a loss to Shakur doesn't sit as good as a loss to Tank. I'm just being real. A loss to Tank hits that's like a win. Like Shakur, I mean, he's a skilled boxer. He's very skilled. Can't take nothing away from him. But he's quiet. His following is quiet. And a loss to him doesn't send you nowhere. We ain't listening. Jamil Herring lost to Shakur. Who talking about him? Oscar Valdez lost to him. Then he lost to Navarrete. Who talking about him? Like, you're not getting no credit for fighting Shakur because he makes it. He just does it different. Mike Rhythm, peace and blessings, King salute. What you was about to say? No, what was you about to say?
Coach Amber.
Okay, so anybody that survives a loss is a win, right?
I mean, it depends on who you lose to. Like, you know, they say sometimes in a loss there's a win. You know, they say sometimes in a win there's a loss, and sometimes when you lose, you actually win. Jermaine Wood, salute.
I mean, we just saw that this weekend with Francis and Fury. I mean, he lost, but hell, he truly won. He truly won. Go ahead, Coach.
So if Frank were to take him to the cards, and I mean, Frank, take him to the cards.
If who
How
took
would that?
the cards?
Yes, sir.
If you who you say took him to the cards?
Frank Martin, sir. Frank Martin.
If he takes Tank to the cards, Frank Martin will be the next Earl Spence, bro. He would be the next Earl Spence. It'd be Tank couldn't knock him out and all this and all that. Frank would get so much just for making it last. Brian King, salute. You see, Esau Cruz got beat.
Just like Pitbull, right?
He got beat 10 rounds with one hand. With one hand. And they call him the Mexican Mike Tyson. Come on now.
And then
Me personally, I think he just got a big head. He just got a big head and he can take shots. That's just me personally.
And then got schooled by Ryan Garcia 2.0, another male model.
Yeah, Giovanni Cabrera beat the brakes off that man. But look at Ryan Garcia. He lost the Tank. Got stopped by him. And you know he the next face of boxing. Rolly Romero, a champion. Barrios, a champion now. Like, when you lose the Tank.
I don't want to talk about them. What about Shakur? Tank and Shakur.
If Shakur loses the Tank, it'll still boost him up. Because if Devin or Shakur loses the Tank, it still's going to boost them up. Because they was in there with the fight. Like, they was in there with the champ. And, you know, that's going to give them the exposure. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be the exposure.
To be honest with you.
That's what people used to do back in the day. Like, back in the day, people used to fight that fight and didn't care about losing. That's how people got a notoriety.
Okay.
That's why people were liking boxers, because it wasn't about whether you win or lose. It was about that you took the fight and you went in there and fought your heart out. Now people scared to get in there and fight because they're scared to lose their own. So now they're not taking real challenges.
The only thing that I would say, and I agree to an extent, I feel as though the way that social media and how casual fans have made it to where when you lose, you aren't anything. And I definitely don't agree with that, because some of my favorite fighters of all time have losses, and that doesn't negate anything. You know what I'm saying? For me personally, like someone asked me last week on a panel, now what's going to happen if Tank loses? He lost. Hell, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I didn't lose.
Tank loses and he'll come right back. Earl Spence lost. It don't make him no big of the cash cow.
And you know,
Earl Spence lost. I ate it, and I'm still Earl Spence fan.
I was just gonna say, but you know that hurt me when Earl lost. No, I was gone.
Salute, Omo. Hen dog, salute. Look, Earl Spence lost to Bud Crawford, and I still say he outsells Bud double, regardless, because he's been giving us so much.
I think it's fuckery that because he lost, we were automatically going to be Bud fans. Like, how?
See that, and that shows the difference between real boxing fans and these fair weather football fans that go with a different season. That's why they got a Super Bowl party every year, because each year they got a new team. Whichever team's in the Super Bowl, that's their team. Nah, I like it when we get a fighter and we get to watch them grow and we get to watch them evolve as fighters. That's when we get to know who they are and see how they change, how they develop, how they get better, how they change the flaws and everything. That's what makes you a fan of a fighter. And that just doesn't go away, especially when you done rode with that fighter and that fighter has given you great fights. You just don't change after that. Like that makes a fake person that can change after that.
And two, what I also want to mention too, though, Upper, the way that social media has it, to be honest with you, I think if Shakur was to lose to Tank, it won't be as bad as if Devin was to lose to Tank. And let me tell you why real quick. Because of the amount of press that has been circling around Devin and Tank for so long, that there are people that want to see Tank lose, and there's just as many people that want to see Devin get knocked out. And to be honest with you, if I'm Bill Haney, I'm moving him exactly how Bill Haney is doing, because he knows the implications that will cause afterwards. You done did all that stuff just to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Not make it to 12. I don't know how he would, the marketing behind Devin that they're trying to build, how that will translate into future fights and sales, because
But
he's
still, you
already
can't keep
not
ducking
a
them
seller.
because if you keep ducking them and not fighting them, now Tank just said that Devin's next, and if they don't try to make that fight next, that's going to be just as bad as you not fighting them. I say get in the ring with Tank, win, lose, or draw, it's going to make him a better fighter regardless. Iron sharp as iron. And if Devin can stay around longer, then hell, they might get a rematch. See, like look at that. Holyfield and Bo, they had 3 matches. Holyfield and Lewis, they had more than 1 match. Like shit.
Jermaine Wood, I don't agree with that. That it's black fans that would just throw you to the side. The Mexican fans going to still ride for their fighters. I don't agree with that.
I
No,
don't believe
because
that
it's
either.
still black.
I'm a black fan, and I stay with my people. I still rock with Roy Jones. I was still cheering for Roy versus Tyson, even though I know he didn't have a chance. Like, that's still my guy. Just like a lot of UK fans, they still cheer for Derek Chisora. That man know damn well Derek Chisora ain't beating nobody.
Can I chime in on that? It's the casual fans that will throw their favorite fighter to the side just because they took an L.
Yeah.
Like, it's the casual fans. Has nothing to do with race or anything like that. It's the casual fans. Like, I believed in you. Probably don't even know nothing about them. Your guy lost.
If
You
you
toss him to the
don't
side.
follow the fighter, if
Has
you
nothing to
follow
do
the-
with code. Has nothing to do with ethnicity. Has nothing to do with nothing.
if you've done followed a fighter's career and you done went through the hell and hot water with a fighter, you're not gonna really throw that fighter away, especially if you've been rocking with this fighter when the good times is. Okay, rock with him when adversity comes, because a lot of fighters, when they fall, they get back up. And a lot of times when they get back up stronger. Because guess what? Iron sharpens iron. When Holyfield lost to Bo, he came back and won the next fight. Then Bo came back and won the next fight. But you see, when Lennox Lewis lost to Rockman, he came back and beat him. He lost to Oliver McCall, came back and beat him. So you know, when you ride with a fighter, you believe in your fighter, and hell, your fighter can show you greatness. Don't throw him away. Because hell, you was never really a fan in the first place. If all they had to do was lose for you to stop rocking with them, then you really wasn't a fan. They didn't, and you didn't deserve to have that fighter, and you didn't deserve to be that fighter's fan. That's how I feel like.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact. And that's the problem that is going on. And to be honest with you, if we had a lot of, if the casual fans became hardcore boxing fans, then Tio would not be would be able to sell out everywhere that he went. Ever since he lost, man, they creeping back in there trying to,
Now,
you know what I'm
T.O.
saying?
said a lot of racist stuff though, man. So T.O. lost a lot of fans with that racist crap he said.
I didn't even really take that to heart. I just think Tio, like I said, you don't know if
That's
you
not
can
the first
Gordo,
time.
Tio.
That's not the first
or
time
something else.
that's not the first time him and his dad done said some racist stuff though. Especially his dad. They be letting stuff slip out their mouth.
I know, but he should still have his core Hispanic following though, because they really don't.
I'm not making excuses. Upper, what part of the country you from?
T.O. Puerto Rican. You know.
Well, I know he is. But what region do you come from?
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
I'm on the east. I'm in the east. I'm right here at North Carolina.
I'm from Texas, and it's bad out here.
But you know, I rep Florida. I rep all that stuff though. You know, I rep the Islanders. I rep Florida. You know, but I stay in North Carolina right now.
Yep,
No, but
yes.
believe it or not,
Exactly, Brian
I'm gonna
King.
agree. I'm agreeing with you, like, because there's still. I'm
Brian
from the
King,
south, and
that
there's
he
still
admitted that he said,
sundown towns out here.
yeah, he said exactly what he had to say, Brian King. And like even in North Carolina, there's places where and in Florida, there's places where if your skin color the wrong color, you can't be there at nighttime.
Yeah, sundown towns. That's what they call it. Like,
Yeah, we
you
got some
better
up.
before the sun go down. You better be out of here.
I'm at the Bible Belt. I'm right here near Kernersville, Brian King, right outside of Greensboro. I stayed in Winston-Salem though, but me and my family, we stay in Kernersville, Brian King.
Yeah, and hopefully, this changes with the way that everything is about to start happening in 2024 for boxing. I just hope that it changes. Well, it is going to change. A lot of y'all favorite fighters are going to have to get in that ring, and there's going to be a lot of a lot of fighters that ain't gonna have that many fans no more rocking behind them.
But I think they might get a fan base if you go out and look at Mario Barrios. He gained a fan base from losing to Keith Thurman and the Tank because he was the Aztecian warrior. Are you in Port City, Brian King? Yeah, I know what Port City is. Aqua Flex, I know what Vietnam is, man. I know what Vietnam is. My sister went to FSU, Fayetteville State University.
Mario Barrios, that's native pride.
Exactly.
I'm actually half Iroquois on my mama's side. Yeah.
Yeah, Mario Barrios, he gained a fan base off of 2 losses because he went out like a warrior.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like I said before, when we were talking about Ryan Garcia, I made the point to say that how a lot of Hispanics stopped supporting Ryan Garcia and Oscar because number one, Hispanics do not believe in that quitting stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When Ryan took that knee, exactly. When Ryan took that knee, he pissed off a lot of support. That was
he pissed off all, man. All
they would have rather him
them.
get Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah, they would have rather him die in the ring.
Yeah, they would have rather him they would have rather him got Leo Santa Cruz before he did that right there. But like that's why this fight with Oscar Duarte, this is to get Ryan his fan base back. This is for Ryan to go to it's supposed to be a Mexican war. And they want Ryan to sit there and go to war with this guy. Now, this is what they've been saying now. This is what the Mexican boxers have been saying. And even Marquez, he was like, yeah, I want to see a war. Now, this is Ryan's chance to get his Spanish fan base back.
I think Oscar's trying to throw him to the wolves and see if he's worth his money.
I'm glad you said that, right? I'm glad you said that. I was going to touch on it. You know something? We're about to rock out today for a minute. Key said something the other day. We're going to rock out for a little bit longer. We having a good one. We're going to rock it out a little bit longer. So, look. Ryan Garcia is in. If you see the whole press conference, Oscar De La Hoya stood behind Oscar Duarte. You see, they asked Ryan, have him and Oscar talk. Oscar and Ryan haven't did no talking. He said our lawyers can do the talking. So look, Ryan is trying to get away from Golden Boy and Oscar. He already got it in the works. He's trying to get up out of there. He's trying to get out that contract. He knows Oscar's no good for him, and he doesn't want to make money with Oscar no more. I think he's now starting to sue Oscar. But Oscar, he knows that Ryan has been talking with Floyd Mayweather, and that Floyd Mayweather is trying to make Ryan the face of boxing. He's trying to sign him to Mayweather Promotions. Floyd Mayweather is on Ryan's tail. I mean, on Ryan's team. And he's gonna have Ryan come to his personal house. He's been taking Ryan to courtside games and everything. Like, Floyd Mayweather is a brilliant businessman. And Floyd Mayweather is not stupid. He knows money. That's why his name is Money Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Floyd knows money, and he knows how to generate money.
Floyd knows how to court people.
And Floyd knows how to make money. And they sitting there, what's going to happen. Oscar knows that too. So Oscar knows that Ryan is going to have a chance to buy himself out of that contract. because usually most courts are settled so a fighter can buy his way out of the contract, right? Hell, Oscar was able to do it. All fighters have been able to buy themselves out of contracts. It's just gonna be how much it is, and they're gonna have to get the man about the contract, because you don't want no employee working for you that don't want to be there, and you don't want to work for an employer that you don't respect. So,
Rick, if I may,
go ahead.
Let's not forget that halfway through the contract, I believe it was before
He signed. I know.
Luke Campbell. Remember, Ryan was bitching about more money, and they renegotiated. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. It's still ways around that, because before the Luke Campbell fight, Ryan wasn't even touching $1 million a fight. Ryan was getting like $550 and $700,000 after everything.
I believe he renegotiated and still got lowballed, which is why he's still looking in other ponds.
Yeah, he renegotiated. He still ain't get what he's worth, but that's Oscar. Oscar, and then the fact that Oscar has to deal with the zone, not Ryan, but Ryan had to pay the penalty of the $200,000 penalty for the fight because they didn't sell his money.
He did.
Yeah, Oscar was supposed to do it, but he forced Ryan to pay that. And he also left Ryan. So a lot of stuff has been adding up with Oscar, and Ryan is not stupid. Him and his family, they got lawyers working on it. Floyd got good lawyers that he's offered to Ryan, so it's in the works. They know what they got going on. Oscar does too, but Oscar is not trying to give away the goose with the golden egg. Not why I can still have eggs. So what Oscar's trying to do is trying to bring Ryan Garcia's value down. So if he does go with Floyd, he'll be damaged goods. He won't sell as much. But what he's doing, inadvertently, he's about to build Ryan up even harder, because Ryan has been studying with the great Floyd Mayweather for his defense. He's been studying with the great Derrick James, working on his offense and his game, and keeping that chin tucked and developing a right hand that's vicious. So Ryan Garcia is getting all the tools that he needs to come back and do what he has to do. Yeah, Floyd has Tank already, King Von, but why just take one when you can have them both? And then if Ryan called out Tio after this fight, he said he wants Teofimo. So just think, Tank said he wants Devin. So if Tank and Ryan both get a belt and they fight each other at 140, King Von, without no rehydration clause, just think what that fight will do. But we're going to get back to that. But yeah, so Oscar Duarte, he's about to be in there with Ryan, but he's about to get a different type of Ryan. The Ryan that he's seen a Ryan with the left hand, who you ain't got to really worry about the right. The Ryan that keeps his chin up in the air. The Ryan that's this and that, he ain't really got no solid defense. But what he's going to get a new and improved Ryan Garcia who can catch and shoot, who keeps his head down, who has a vicious right hand that's more explosive than the left.
He going to have to show me.
Okay.
He going to have to show me.
And he has no problem doing it. He has a vicious right to the body.
There it is, my God. Boys and Girls Club, Ryan going to have to show me.
Okay, but I'm just telling you. I think it's a clip that I'm gonna send you later that he did a combo, but his damn straight right is something special, and that straight right, I'm telling you, that straight right, he's not gonna knock Duarte out with the left. Everybody's gonna be worried about that left, but watch what I tell y'all. Upper echelon, I'm telling you now.
If the hips don't shift, I don't want to see it. If the hips do not shift, first gear, second gear.
This is what I'm telling you. Ryan's right hand is what's going to stop him. He's going to stop him with the right. He's going to stop him with the right. Ryan's going to stop Oscar Duarte with that right. He's going to be worried about Ryan's going to fake with that left. And he's going to catch Duarte shifting. And he's going to shoot that right straight down the pipe. And he's going to pop him up off of there. Yes, Rick Timms, he needs a win. Well, he only took 2 L's, Rick Timms, just 2. And both L's that he took, his fighters was the underdog. Earl was the underdog for Bud. and Charlo was the underdog for Canelo, so he only took 2 L's out of how many wins? Look how many wins. Bomac been taking L's, Jamil Herring, Mo Hooker. We don't want to talk about L's though, bro.
Let's not forget that Khan got popped for PEDs in the UK, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah. Well, Derek James, sorry, he's had 2.
But I think too, though, and you're right, Upper. He is looking. One thing I can say, the videos that I've been seeing, Ryan does look good. I'm excited to see him, to see how he's progressed in with this Duarte fight. One thing that I will say though is that Ryan, with his lawsuit against Oscar De La Hoya, he's basically going in with the point. One of the points is that he's already fulfilled his fight obligation. And so he might, in the state of California, because this is where this is all originated from, obviously Golden Boy is in Cali. If you have so many fights under your management, that Ryan's managers found a loophole. And if you have so many fights under your promoter, then the contract has been satisfied pretty much.
Exactly.
And so that's what they're. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So Oscar is basically trying to say, yo, nah, wait a minute. And this happened back in June, May-ish, June, after the Tank and Ryan fight. This is when all this started occurring. So I think it isn't a coincidence when I sat down and think about it, because I remember I came on here a few weeks ago and I told Upper, I was like, man, that wouldn't make sense for Oscar to just throw Ryan to the wolves like that. And then now that I'm starting to think about it, this could be a get back, because Ryan, from my understanding, his lawyers are on it. And I can see that I do believe that after this fight is done, they're done.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're done. So because it's settled, and his lawyers, from what I've heard, has found that loophole. And it does appear that he's looking like Duarte, finish him. You know what I'm saying?
If y'all notice, y'all see Oscar is not speaking to Ryan at all. Ryan said our lawyers will do all the talking. And you notice that Oscar De La Hoya is promoting Duarte. He's behind Duarte. And then you notice Oscar also came out and said something talking about we're moving on from Ryan. We're going to stick with Zepeda. So you feel what I'm saying? Like he tried to disrespect Ryan with Zepeda. So about Ryan
Upper.
Yeah.
Upper key. Did we not forget that Ryan filed a claim that Oscar couldn't contact him directly?
No, he can't.
Y'all remember that?
He can't.
Nope.
Oscar is not allowed to contact Ryan Garcia directly. Like, he filed a motion for it. No? Google it.
No, I get what you're saying. I did hear that. I did hear that, Coach Umber. It's just a bad blood. Even when, if you look at that presser, you could feel that. You can look at the tension.
And see, that's another reason. That's another reason why Ryan didn't want this pay-per-view as well. He ain't trying to make Oscar no more extra money. Because, coming off a Tank pay-per-view, Ryan versus Duarte, it'll probably sell at least 200,000-300,000 easy. Because this has been a battle of Mexicans, but Ryan ain't trying to make Oscar nothing. You feel me? He's not trying to give him an extra rabbit cent. So he's basically doing this fight right here off GP. Like, yeah, look, this is our part of ways right here. So, Oscar's right there behind Duarte. Like, look, man, I need you to take this guy out. Because, it's a reason why you see Floyd and Ryan places. Floyd Mayweather, boy, and see, Floyd been winning on Oscar for the longest. Every time you look up, all Floyd do is win versus Oscar. Like, he beats his fighters, he takes his fighters. And with Floyd Mayweather behind Ryan Garcia, he will be the face of boxing just because he got the complexion for the connection. You know what I'm saying? He got the complexion for the connection. Just like Oscar De La Hoya was the golden boy. Like, the star status that Oscar De La Hoya had back then, it was crazy. Oscar was making big money on Top Rank. and they was shitting him as well. But he still was making a nice. He had like 25 million guarantees for fights. Plus, you know, he got done dirty on the back end, but still, you know. But yeah,
Sorry, Upper, were you saying something? Sorry.
I think Coach Amber must have fell off again.
I think that just drop the link in the chat whenever you get a chance. But I think that too, with this whole Oscar with Ryan thing, it really shows you the complexities of a management boxer relationship and how and just how things really are, truly what they are. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of this stuff be cakes and pies and cookies and everything. It really be going down behind closed doors.
That's why Canelo left Oscar as well, because Oscar is a snake. And Oscar was cheating Canelo out of a lot of money. And see, Canelo realized it and was like, you know something, what I need a promoter for? Floyd gave Canelo the platform. He gave Canelo everything Canelo got. Because he got it from fighting Floyd. You know, he got the exposure because Floyd used to have him on his undercards. So what did he need Oscar for? He didn't need a promoter. And now you see Canelo promotes himself. And he's the A side of anything above 168, besides, you know, the heavyweight division. But, you know, Ryan Garcia is going to make his money, and Oscar De La Hoya is hoping for Ryan's downfall. And Ryan's going to have to stop the work thing because he's not going to get no decision on the cards. But if y'all look at the press conference, Ryan looks like a different guy. Like, he's mature now. He's like a grown man now. Like, he's done matured his body. He done settled into his body. Like, the man, he done turned into that Tank fight turned Ryan into a man before our eyes, bro. Like, he's a man now. And I feel like he's going to go out there. He's real confident. And he's going to go out there and he's going to do his thing. And Duarte and Oscar De La Hoya, both Oscars are going to take an L that night. And I think Ryan Garcia, he's going to complete his contract with De La Hoya, go to Floyd, and, you know, Floyd's going to market this man. And Floyd is a marketing genius. And he's going to make that man, the face of boxing.
So right, I'm gonna throw a boomerang into this, okay?
Well, go ahead, Dundee.
I'm gonna throw a boomerang into this, Upper. So with these fights that we got coming up, we have Shakur versus De Los Santos. We have Devin and Regis. We have Ryan and Duarte. So we going back to the Three Kings era. You feel me? Well, really, Shakur wasn't there then, but we're going to put him in there anyway, right? So we got the Three Kings that's lined up November, December, correct? So here's my question. With these Three Kings that's lined up, all three of them have statement fights. Whether you like them or not, I don't care who your favorite fighter is or whatever the case may be, nobody can deny the stakes are high with Shakur because Shakur has painted himself and is being painted as the boogeyman, okay, of 135. Devin has to prove with Regis that he can take a hit, and he has a lot of strife coming after the narratives that him and his dad has been painting for over the years. And then Ryan Garcia lost badly to Tank Davis. He took a knee. I'm not negating that a liver shot doesn't hurt, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying we can't argue the facts. He lost. So,
hey, King Von, what I'm saying is, with his complexion, Tank, he can reach the masses, yeah. But when you got somebody like Ryan, he can be on the level that Canelo was. Like, they can push to everybody, like a mass appeal. I'm just gonna be honest. You can't really push a black fighter to everybody. You know that
King he has the aesthetics. He has he
has the crossover. Yeah.
Yes, he has the nicest. He has a nice looking face. He comes from a very religious family. Yep.
And he's a Christian model that takes care of his kids. And he's a pretty boy, and the kids love him. He has 20 million followers.
So
Tank has like 6 or 7 million, King Von. This man has 20 million.
So with that being said, right, with these three kings that have fights coming up, the chat I want to know, and from Upper I want to know, because it's been talks, and I've been studying some film this past weekend of everybody's opponents, and I've been studying the three kings opponents. I mean, their fighting styles versus their opponents, how it's going to mesh up. Who is going to have the upset? Because in my spirit, I feel like somebody in one of these fights is going to get dropped, or somebody fighting style is going to get exposed. And it's either Shakur, Devin, or Ryan. Which one do y'all have it as? Upper.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start.
Don't just stop with just them. Add Boo Boo and David Benavidez to the mix too, because that's a dangerous one too.
Okay, yes. Let's add them as well. So with those four, I'm sorry, somebody was driving past. With those four, with Shakur Stevenson versus Los Santos, then we got Boo Boo versus Benavidez, and then we have Ryan versus Duarte and Devin and Regis. Who's Duarte? I'm sorry. Who's going to have the upset? Who do y'all see in having the upset?
I think Boo Boo might get the upset win, but I'm gonna tell you like this: I can see each fighter having. If Ryan and Oscar, Ryan should beat him.
Upper, you're both of your channels is kind of creating an echo. So mute
hold
one.
on, let me step down the steps a minute. All right, is that better? Okay. So what I was saying is, I believe that. How can I say this? Okay, Ryan's going against a knockout puncher as well. He's 26-1 with 21 knockouts, right? So this man is not no stranger to putting people to sleep. And he's seasoned. He's had more fights than Ryan. But he fights a more rough and tumble fight than Ryan. And I feel like, Ryan, and plus I've seen some of the people he fought. He's done been in there with some good competition too. He hasn't been in there with just no slouches. Duarte has been in there with some rough and tumble people. I believe he's going to get in there. He's going to get dirty with Ryan. And Ryan's going to have to grow up some more. But I still think that Ryan should expose and destroy him. But with boxing, it only takes one hit. If Ryan slips the wrong way, or if Duarte hit him with the right counter, it could be over. But I think Ryan's prepping and game plan should win out. That's that. Shakur versus Dos Santos. At first, I figured Shakur would wash this man. But with the African saying what he said, I had to go back and look. And Dos Santos has improved each fight. And he is very fast, and he has power in both hands. And then I watched Shakur, and I see him live and die off that athleticism. And if he's just a second too late on getting out the way when he's standing right there, he could get clipped and put down. So I've noticed that. So, but if he fights right and fights well, I think he'll be pushed. And I feel like he's going to dig in deep and he evolve into that next level fighter. See, I feel like this is the fight that Shakur needs to evolve into that next level of fighter because he hasn't had this fight yet. So I feel like that's what this fight does for him. On the Boo Boo and David Benavidez, I feel like David Benavidez is going to have to push deep. Caleb Plant outboxed in the first half of the fight. You can expect that again with Boo Boo. But I think,
did he though? Did he?
I felt like he did. And I feel like Boo Boo.
I felt like he was on his bike.
Let me finish it. I got you. I'm going to let you go next. I feel like Boo Boo brings more to the table than Caleb Plant. And I feel like we forget how good Boo Boo really was. And Boo Boo has had a chance to get acclimated to the division. Like he told Jamal Charlo a couple months ago, I can't make it to 164. He said, I'm too big for that now. So he's done put that muscle on for that weight. I feel like he outboxes David Benavidez. He finds the hole because David Benavidez, his defense is offense. And like I said, he squares up when he fights. He's flat-footed straight across. Like he's always in a perpendicular line. Like he doesn't have no stance. Like he squares up and punches you straight ahead. But if he can dig in and pull it out, that's going to be a great test too. That's a real 50-50 fight. I don't know who will win it, but I'm thinking Boo Boo's pedigree and amateur background comes through. But if David's youth controls that and Boo Boo ages overnight, then David does it. Now with Devin and Regis, I feel like Regis is in the 140 division. Like I've told people about these middle divisions, they not the marquee divisions. The 140 division is people too heavy for 135, but not good enough for 147. I feel like Regis hasn't been in there with a true athlete. His biggest fight was Josh Taylor, who is a come-forward fighter. He really hasn't been in there with nobody that can change levels and do the stuff that most 135-pounders can do. I feel like he's going to have to dig in deep, but Father Time has hit him because he's over 35 years old. I feel like Devin, his skill shit alone should outpace and outmatch Regis because Regis is great. But if you really think about Regis and his skill set, he's like a B+ fighter, honestly. If you sit there and look at it, he's really like a B+ fighter. He's just, I mean, honestly, he's a come forward, bang him out type fighter. Like he has, like most of the fighters in the 140 division weren't athletic that Regis fought. Like they weren't athletic. But I feel like Devin is probably the athletic that he's fought that can do all things. You see Zarrillo could do some things, and you see how hard Regis had to sweat for that. But I feel like Regis got some power. It's not really had a chance to evolve. Iron sharp is iron. Regis hasn't had that fight that make him evolve into a A+ fighter. You feel what I'm saying? So
Upper, like can Devin, I ask you something? When you get a chance, can I ask you something?
Yeah, I'm about to finish right now. So I just feel like Regis, he probably could beat Devin, but with power and guts. But his skill set, no. What you gonna ask me, Coach Amber? Coach Amber.
I think you just answered my question.
What was that?
Regis is very powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah, he just ain't got the skill set.
And who does? Devin Haney?
I mean, I feel like Devin Haney's skill set is better than Regis, but he ain't got the power that Regis got.
So it's a matter of what and what, right?
It's whether the skill set or the power, which is going to win.
Which makes this boxing thing beautiful.
Exactly. And that's what I'm going to come to. It's going to be skill against power. Like Shakur, it's going to be skill against power and power against skill because De Los Santos got skill and Shakur has power. But Shakur is more skills than power and De Los Santos is more power than skill. Because they saying he's hitting like Zapata in 8-ounce gloves at 140, who is one of the hardest hitters at 140.
Beautiful boxing.
So, Coach, were you done? I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
Let her give her assessment on them four.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach. What you think, Coach?
Go through all four fights, Coach Amber.
I mean, I know what Dev do. Here's the thing. His KO power on the books, it doesn't show up, but out of everybody that Devin's fought, and I'm not a big Devin fan, none of them said he was a weak motherfucker. None of them have been like, the fans call him pillow fisted. Everybody that's been in there, like, if you're that soft, why wouldn't you march through? And I'm thinking of it from a coach's perspective. Like, if you got a pinpoint, like, stab in your eye, and you know what I'm talking about, Upper, stab in your eye, stab in your gut, it will make you hesitate. He's got to have some type of respectable power.
Well, I feel like he an accurate puncher, not a power puncher. Like Floyd was accurate.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference between an accurate puncher and a power puncher is because you don't have to have much power, but if you hit a person accurately and you hit him at the right time in the right spot, it'll hurt. But if you a power puncher, you can just hit a person, it's gonna hurt each time, like boom, boom, boom. You're gonna resonate with the power. But
My love, let me correct you. You can be inaccurate and it will still hurt because you're inaccurate.
But you know, Floyd hands was brittle. But you see, people didn't just rush Floyd because he was accurate. His shots was accurate, so he picked his
You
shots.
answered my own question. Exactly.
That's why I said Devin can pick his shots and be an accurate puncher, like them shots that he was doing a little
Hard enough.
Exactly, but that don't mean he's a power puncher. It just means he's accurate. Because if he had more power with them accuracy, then he would be stopping people like Tank. Because Tank is an accurate puncher, but he has power as well. Brock Howard, salute, King.
So a short, soft shot could knock somebody's lights out without being full power, right?
15 pounds of pressure.
Okay.
If you hit it right. And so and shout out to Key Alexandra showing her glamour shots on the thing. I see you, Key.
Don't mind me, y'all. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
go ahead, because I'm curious, because I'm gonna piggyback off of y'all two conversation, because this is interesting to me. I like when two
I mean
go ahead.
You got people like, okay, first of all, power is God given. It honestly is. It is God given. Now,
can't teach
can
power.
you speak on that? Whatever. But accuracy takes less tension.
You can teach accuracy.
You can teach accuracy. You cannot teach power.
Power, either you got it or you don't.
Yes, sir. And what happens when your power is not accurate, but when you're like pin needle? Think about it like como que dice,
what you're doing is you're focusing your point.
Acupuncture.
Focusing,
like you
focusing the punch to a specific point. And that way you're focusing all the power and all the impact on one spot.
And you don't have to swing as hard. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
That's when you're focusing it, and it makes it that much more dangerous.
Acupuncture. Yes, sir. I'm just saying.
Well, here's.
I'm not neither here nor there. I'm just laying out the chess pieces on the table.
Well, here's how I feel. Like, and you guys gave wonderful points, but this is what I've and Rick, thank you for your comment about it. What you said, nobody's being Shakur, but Tank, Devin, Ryan are favorites in their bouts, and I'm Ryan with Andrade to pull off.
Shakur is a beast, but I don't like him
over Benavidez. I get it. He's different. But I can't even. I feel some type of way because Benavidez is definitely on my. I think he's number 6 on my pound for pound, either number 6 or number 7. And when it comes
off mine when he kept ducking Morrell, he dropped off mine.
I know, but he's still mine. Like I like Benavidez and Andrade. I used to have, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. I thought Demetrius, he was just fine when he came out, boy. I was like, golly, that's how they look out there? I didn't even know. But anyways, whatever he is, I'm like, oh, he a cutie pie. But he has.
That's what you like?
Man, when he first came out, you feel me? When he first came out, I was like, Demetrius is kind of cute. But anyways. So I have like a little, Andrade always got a little place with me.
Don't feel bad. We need female fans. I'm not on that team, but we need female fans. Don't feel bad.
I get it. But that's like him. It's only a couple of them, but him definitely at the top. Like, good God Almighty. But so I think this is an interesting fight. Now, out of all four of those fights, from what I'm hearing from you two, that's been in the ring, that's been doing this for a very long time, and with y'all knowledge, and I definitely appreciate it. So here's how I feel. I feel as though I have Shakur Stevenson winning that fight. I do have Shakur Stevenson getting popped. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I have Shakur getting popped, but I don't think that it will do anything to him. I think it's just gonna turn him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel as though with that Shakur Stevenson, even though I have him winning in an impressive fashion, I do believe that we will see some things from Shakur that is gonna be like, yo, I see a weakness there, because I've already seen it. And I think the reason why De Los Santos have been calling this man out for a year is because he see it too. And that's how I feel about Shakur and De Los Santos. I think that that's going to be, I think it's going to be a slugfest. I think Shakur is coming in there with something to prove, but I do believe that De Los Santos is going to clip him with something. I can't even stunt to y'all. I think from round 2 to 4. But I have him winning Shakur, and I wouldn't be surprised because, like I told y'all, Shakur is on a knockout streak himself. And I can see Shakur stopping De Los Santos. You feel me? But I do feel as though Shakur is going to get pop clipped with something.
Especially
Now,
get his mind correctly, because he's sitting there focused on the wrong stuff right now instead of training.
exactly. And then on time, and yes, and that brings me to the point. I hope he's taking this seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't, I get it that you got a stable underneath you. Shakur's a very sound businessman. It's appearing that way with fighters that he has underneath him. But come on, Shakur, like, a lot is riding on this. Like, you have painted yourself to be this boogeyman. People are looking at you as this boogeyman. People are actively debating about Shakur versus Tank. You know what I'm saying? Um, like, come on, man, you gotta keep that momentum going. So that's how I feel about Shakur and De Los Santos. Now, when it gets to Boo Boo and Benavidez, that's a tough one. I still have Benavidez winning that fight. I like Boo Boo, I do, but I just feel as though, I don't know. Like, I feel as though Plant was the perfect fight for Benavidez to get him ready for this. I don't think Damon Nicholson, and I got nothing but respect for Nicholson, but I don't think you know what I'm saying, that Andrade really used all the tools. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Benavidez had to really take his time, had to really skate with Caleb Plant across the ring. Yes, Benavidez struggled with his defense, is mostly through offense, but I didn't see too much gassing from him. Like, I just seen a lot. I seen more out of Benavidez and Plant than I did with Boo. I felt like with Boo Boo was another day at the office, and he knew he was gonna get that guy, if that makes sense. Like, I felt like with Benavidez, it was a lot more thought put into that fight with Plant. So I have Benavidez winning because he's fresh off that. I have him winning Boo Boo. And it will hurt. That will hurt. Because I don't want to see my guy Boo Boo go. You feel me? But it is what it is. I'm still support him. Now, when it goes to Devin and Regis, I got Devin getting clipped. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I do feel as though Devin is going to get dropped. I do feel as though this is gonna go to 12, and I got Devin with the split decision, and I'll tell you why.
Hometown.
Huh?
It's in Devin's hometown for one,
Yep.
and for two, they trying to send Regis up out.
No. We got to establish: is it Vegas or the Bay Area that is
It's the
his
Bay
hometown?
Area. Well, I don't know.
Okay, because everybody in the mama was saying that the Bay Area is in his hometown. So, which one is it?
He was born and he reps the Bay Area, but he was from Henderson, Nevada, not even Vegas, from Henderson, Nevada. But he tries to rep the Bay Area. The Bay Area do represent for him. They do rep him. So
Okay, so pick for him, Upper.
I said the Bay Area is his area.
Okay,
I
Bay
don't
Area.
know. I don't know. Hell,
Dad's
1 minute.
area. You know, that's
I,
his dad's area. That's what he's always. He got a damn tattoo of the Bay Area on his leg. So
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. Tank said he couldn't sell out his hometown, and then he kind of did.
I don't know.
well, you know, he didn't do it at first, but you know, Tank sells out everywhere. So yeah, Coach Amber.
I don't know, Coach Amber, because
And
1 minute.
at that point, he couldn't at the time when Tank said he couldn't sell it out because he did have fights that didn't sell out. But now, yeah, he's a different fighter now. But Tank sells out everywhere, not just his hometown.
I don't.
I feel like you was taking a shot at Tank right there, Coach Amber. You got a little feisty right there. I seen it.
First of all, I was trying to be a fan of Tank, and then I was told he didn't need no new fans. But
Because
it's
you're not
cool.
a new fan. You're an old fan for Tank. He talking about he don't want them new people that's hopping the ship.
Well, then I guess he don't need my money,
But
pay-per-view money or
but
nothing like that.
haven't you been rocking for Tank?
Tank's giving me one fight that I wanted to see.
But haven't you been rooting for Tank though?
I like him, but no. Well, rooting and buying is a different story.
Okay, well then you're not a new fan then. New fans is the people that's trying to come on after he beat Ryan Garcia. Because the people
I paid for him to beat Ryan Garcia, and he did what he did.
because there was a lot of people that was saying that Ryan was gonna beat Tank. And you remember a lot of people were saying that Ryan could stop Tanks, Ryan to do all this and that. If you don't remember the build up, a lot of people was actually choosing Ryan Garcia.
And that was fuckery.
Yeah.
And I live out here in Texas.
And so now he said he don't want them people coming over here now. Like y'all was just choosing Ryan over me. Don't try to be here now. So you wasn't in that category. I just feel like you just trying to have a reason to be mad at him. Stop that.
I don't know. With the whole talk about schools and regions, I don't even know. In my opinion, Devin is from Vegas and he was homeschooled. Hell, I don't know. That's personal. You know me, I keep it strictly in the ring.
Yeah, I don't care about what they argue
like
about out there. I like the fact that he said Devin's next. So Devin, he said you next. I don't want to hear no bull crap out of you. Make the fight.
The fact that oh God, another narrative. I ain't even gonna get into that.
Let's be honest. With Tank, it's not gonna be Shakur. It's not gonna be Dev. It's not gonna be Frank. It's not.
Tank has not did that, man. Tank, he did what he said he was gonna do since he took the helm of his stuff. He said he wanted Devin this time, and Steven Espinosa and them reached out, and that's Devin and them said they had something else to do. And Tank still ain't got a fight yet, so we can't do that, Coach Amber.
Wasn't that before when they couldn't say that Showtime was ending? Showtime was ending. That was the thing that they couldn't say.
It wasn't that, Coach Amber. No, it wasn't that. They was trying to get it in. I know you like Devin. I know you're a Devin supporter, but we're not going to twist the narrative.
I'm actually not.
No, she's not a. Yeah.
But they was trying to make the fight this year. Steven Espinosa hit him up. That's why Tank really ain't had a fight yet, because Tank was going to try to get one more in. But he went with the Regis fight. And so Tank was like, the hell with it. Tank was in shape when he came home. He was small.
I think that they just need to hurry up and get in the ring so all of this can be settled. Because
that's what I don't understand. If they have a good fight, they can all. Back in the day, we had sequels. We had rematches. Like they act like it has to be a one and done thing. No. And that's the thing that gets at me. They wait so late to make the great fights that we can't get 2 and 3 of the same fights. Like Bo Holyfield, I watched all 3 of those. Like Lennox Lewis and Holyfield, I watched both of those. Like, dang. If it's a good fight, we can run it back. But we don't even get the chance to get fights ran back.
I can't wait till the new platform is announced.
Well, the thing is, and this is why with the whole, and I'm going to put a pin into what I was going to say about Devin and Regis. But real quick, the thing with these sequels is that the fans trash it before it even occurs. Like, a lot of people felt as though Pitbull Cruz beat Tank and they wanted to run that back. One of the main reasons why they want to run that back is because Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny was not in Tank's corner when they fought, and because they had other obligations that they signed themselves up for by mistake. And so Tank had to go with someone else. Now, this is my understanding. It could be inaccurate, but from what I've gathered, they weren't there. And so, and it was no bad blood or nothing like that.
Facts, Dixon.
And so, now they want to run it back, but the fans are trashing that fight. I think that's a great run back, but nobody is telling Devin to run it back with Loma. I think Loma and Devin would do easily 300K pay-per-views.
At least 200. They would have did at least
they would double that amount.
They would have did at least 200. And I'm on record saying that. Because hell, I wanted to see the rematch.
Because that was
I've been Mayweather as a Devin fan. At what price point? I wouldn't pay no more than $50 for that.
I mean, it depends on what they put on that undercard.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a regular.
That's what I said earlier.
The regular pay-per-view is $60-some. The PBC and them just jumped that shit up to $80-some. Like, hell, I would have paid 60 for it. I mean, Loma versus Devin was a good fight.
Maybe you're not gonna say that. Dev did not watch Loma. Go ahead, Upper.
No, it wasn't no wash. It was 7-5. Even Devin Haney came on and said it was 7-5. So for people that say that Devin watched Loma,
I had an 8-5. Well, yeah, 7-5.
Devin Haney came out and he said it himself that it was 7-5. He said Loma lost the last round. That's what gave him the victory. Now, Devin Haney is a fighter. He was in the ring. If he came out and said it's 7-5, you can't say that he watched him and this man knows his own work. And Devin Haney, B-Dog, peace and blessings. Salute, King. So Devin Haney, he even admitted it. And like I said, it was 7-5. I had it a draw, but Loma didn't do that last one. They didn't do that last fight. I mean, he didn't fight that last round. He gave up.
Yeah.
And gave Devin the last round, and that because I had it 6-5 going into the 12th.
Well,
King Von, go look at the interview Devin had. Because Devin, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you, King Von. You can say what you want, but Devin Haney, the fighter, he said it was 7-5. He said the last round is what gave him the win. I'm not gonna argue against the fighter that's saying what he did. I mean, because he looked at the fight as well, so he knows what happened and he knows what he did. So if you think you know better than Devin, hey,
they know when they do good and when they don't. That's why you don't leave it to the judges. What were you gonna say, Coach?
Albert, can I ask you one question?
Uh-huh.
Did Dev show you any type of dog with Loma?
Oh yeah, he dug it in and fought it out, especially in the 12th round. He
bit on his mouthpiece, showed you the dog, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I had.
So this is how I have the Devin and Regis fight going. So that's a perfect segue. I think, and Rick, I know you said that you don't see because of how Shakur controls the distance and everything, but in boxing you're gonna get hit. And I think, to be honest with you, that's what Edwin De Los Santos is banking on, is that shot. And it's not gonna be bad that he gets clipped. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just going to happen because it's boxing. You feel me? That's not going to make Shakur a bad fighter. I still got him winning that fight. I have him actually stopping De Los Santos because of because he's on that path right now, and he's coming into that 135 strength. Now, when it comes to Devin and Regis, out of all three of those fights, I could see Devin getting dropped, but I still have him winning by a split decision because although Devin, I told y'all before, in my book, he's a top 10 counterpuncher. I think his counterpunching is underrated. But what I like about Devin is the fact that he's able to jab and have something come behind it. But I do feel as though Regis is gonna catch him with something. I do feel as though Regis might catch him with something. The reason why I feel as though it's going to be a split decision is because in the past 3 of Devin fights, I have not seen him in the ring actively make adjustments like that to where he's able to where he don't have to go back to the corner to get, you know what I'm saying, what he should do. He's able to just do it right then and there. You know, and that's what concerns me about this fight with Devin and Regis, and with Boo Boo and Benavidez too. You know what I'm saying? What type of adjustments are going to be had when you're fighting these type of pressure fighters? Because I got a feeling that Regis is going to bring it to Devin, because he's fighting for his belt. To be honest with you, out of all the fights, Regis has the most riding on it, because you are letting this man dictate where the fight's going to be. He's B-siding you throughout this whole thing, even though you are the champion. He's B-siding you. You're going last in the press conferences. You are resorting to all these type of tactics outside of the fight. So I get it, it's to sell the fight, but come on, it looks a little, in my opinion, it's like, okay, Regis, pump the brake, just show it in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, he's looking a little, I don't think he looked too good right now with what he's showing. And I like Regis.
Well, you want to tell you, I can tell you how that Shakur fight going to be, right? I know exactly how De Los Santos is going to catch Shakur. And watch, Upper Echelon told you this before, because I was a crafty boxer as well. Shakur's going to get caught in either the third or the fourth round, right? Because what De Los Santos is going to do, he's going to come out and he's going to keep the speed of his shots down. He's not going to fire with bad intentions. Like, he's not going to show his true speed in the first couple rounds. He's going to get Shakur to thinking that this is as fast as he's throwing him out. And Shakur is going to get the timing down. And when he gets the timing down, that's when Shakur going to be locked. And he's going, you know how a fighter gets their timing down. And I feel like Edwin De Los Santos is going to hold back that speed for a few rounds just to get Shakur stuck on that confidence and his timing. You feel what I'm saying?
That's like a beautiful game of chess. Speed, slow it down. Speed, slow it down. That's a beautiful game of chess.
And then I feel like that's when he's gonna shoot that thing in there, and he's gonna woof, and then he's gonna try to catch him just like that. That's how Bud does when he switches it up. When Bud switches it up, he'll switch it up in the last minute, and that's when people get caught when he changes his stance and everything. And because when he switches over, they already got his timing down for his weak hand. And so when his power hand comes, then the timing is different. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why he's able to catch them like that. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's going to, like I said, I think Devin and Shakur is going to get clipped in these fights. I'm just keeping it 105 with you. That doesn't mean that they're not going to win, though. I think Shakur has a better chance of stopping his opponent than Devin does. I don't think we're going to see too many stops until Devin goes to 147. You know what that's just how I feel. But I do have Devin winning this fight. I think that Regis is going to come to fight. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And it's the way you lose. And I feel as though even if he was to lose to Devin, but he came out brawling, the same fight. Because let's be honest here. Neither one of them are coming off of impressive wins. The only one that's coming off of an impressive win, is Shakur, and that's because of who his opponent was. You get what I'm saying to you? So neither Regis or Devin are coming off impressive wins, so they're coming in there to show what they have, to put their name out there. I just feel as though Regis has more pressure riding on him than all the guys, because you're letting a guy from 135 come up there and B-side you to death. And then on top of that, has a high probability of taking your stuff. That's kind of embarrassing. So he better make it a fight. And
let me ask you a question.
What's up?
So Shakur's fighting De Los Santos, Dev versus Regis. If they were to be upset, which one would be the huger loss?
Devin, because Shakur only got 20 fights and he's still coming into the division. Devin would be because of everything that's around Devin.
I think it'd be worse for Shakur.
I think it'd be worse for Devin.
The A-side boogeyman that everybody.
I mean, Devin is the one that's supposed to be coddled and baby this, baby that. I mean,
talking about everybody ducked him and everything right there. That Shakur, he on there talking about he think he's the best. You got Bud Crawford talking about Shakur do things that I can't do. Shakur feel like he the best fighter out there. He said, "Don't compare me to Floyd," because he feel like if me and Floyd was at the same level, I would beat him. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't say stuff like that and then lose. No.
he also disrespected Floyd, but
Yeah,
I mean,
he
whatever.
disrespected everybody. So yeah, you can't do that. Then take a loss. He got all the pressure on him.
So Montana, where we at? No, I want to know who would be the worst loser.
Hey, chat. Who y'all think? I want to know the chat.
Who would be the worst loser? Shakur or Devin?
Yeah, I want to know from the chat.
Dev versus Rougarou, or
like, who's the loss effect worse?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Worse?
I think.
You gotta think about it. Huh?
That's a hard one. Like who, man? I would say Devin, simply for the fact that he did so much, but no, because the narrative can be painted that he was trying to go for greatness at 140 and he lost. So yeah, Shakur. It'll be worse for Shakur.
Because he's reaching for the one title.
Right, Rick already knew that was coming.
All right, so I'm taking notes. One title, and Dev's holding on his three, right? Because he gave it one.
But then if he was to, okay, now let's talk about this real quick. Now let's say that Devin loses. So his WBA and is it the WBC or is it the WBO and the WBC? Two of them, Shakur has made himself the mandatory. Okay, Shakur is his mandatory for two of those, right? So with that being said, if he can't beat Regis, would it be a duck if Devin was to hold on to the belt still and move up to fight someone else in 140? Or would you be expecting him to come back down and fight Shakur like he said that he can still do for a big fight?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Upper. One of them he vacated.
Hey, hold on a second.
I'm pretty sure it was Shakur.
It was the WBC he vacated.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Shakur made himself the mandatory, if I'm not mistaken, in the WBC.
Can we get something correct? You were not the mandatory until you were ordered to be the mandatory. Just because you are number one does not mean you're mandatory.
That is correct.
Yes. Just because you're number one, you can call yourself the mandatory all you want. But until the sanctioning body orders it, you are not the mandatory.
That is correct. He made himself, he petitioned himself, or as Bill would say, he activated his mandatory in both those belts to fight Devin for him.
WBC and what other belt?
The WBO, if I'm not mistaken. So he's mandatory. He's Devin's mandatory for both of those.
Until it's ordered.
Huh?
I give it to Bill. He's finessing.
Oh, he's amazing. That's why I said that. Devin has the best PR team. That's why I think that even if he was to lose, he would be, like you said, coddled.
So what would be the biggest upset? Shakur versus De Los Santos or Dev versus Rougarou? The biggest upset.
It'd be hard for me to say because I want to see. Um, uh, I want to see Tank go against both those guys.
Well, Tank need to get in there.
But if they have a loss, see Tank, since I want to say
I'm
the
done
one
making
guy
excuses for
in
Tank.
the one guy in 130. So this was like 3 years ago.
But you want me to tell you what makes me mad? I'm mad that Shakur didn't fight Oshack Foster because
Hold on, somebody needs to unmute their mic.
I'm mad that Shakur didn't fight Oshack Foster. That was his mandatory, and he ended up not fighting Oshack Foster. I would have loved to seen that right there. I would love to see that fight right there, especially watching how that played off.
But the thing where I was getting at is that Tank hasn't fought. The reason why I feel as though if Shakur or Devin was to lose, it would. I don't want neither one of them to lose because Tank has beat the most undefeated fighters out of all three of them.
Exactly.
And he
Tank,
always fights
you have to be undefeated to fight Tank.
Exactly. And so I just don't want there to be anything like, okay, it's one thing to lose.
But Pitbull wasn't undefeated when Tank fought him.
Right, but he wasn't the first option either, though. Rolly had some stuff going on, and they had to, you know what I'm saying?
Frank, Shakur, Dev. I would be fine with any one of those. Frank, Shakur, Dev. Check somebody off the list. Come on now. Any one of those.
Woods. Devin will never make 135 again in his life, buddy. It's gonna be harder for him to make 140. Watch what I tell you. He's still over 20-some pounds overweight right now.
I'm just saying, like, I wonder how that will work itself out. Coach Amber, I do believe that Tank is going to start getting them boys. It's just a matter of time, and we got to see with all these announcements that's coming up for PBC what's going to happen. At least we know for a fact if it was to be Dev next, that won't happen until the summer, fall, or the winter, because Tank is scheduled to fight allegedly in February, and Devin will just begin out his fight in December, and it takes 3 months. So those are late.
Tank said he wants to retire at the age of 30. Huh? So I see Tank wants to retire at 30. So I see 4, maybe 5 fights for Tank.
Tank is about to be 29 in a couple weeks. So next year that'll be 30.
Remember, he said Shakur and Devin was last, but I see him taking 2 more fights between Shakur and Devin. And don't put that Pacquiao fight out the range because that might be a good tune-up for him. It'd be a hell of a bag. But I think he got Shakur, Devin, and a Ryan rematch. Shakur, Devin, a Ryan rematch, and hopefully Loma.
I don't know about Loma. I think after this Kambosos fight, because Loma is a 130 fighter, so he needs to go back. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do with Loma. I really feel as though he'll probably mess around and be a gatekeeper.
Loma's about to get the IBO belt from knocking out Kambosos.
Yeah, he's gonna fight him next year. So supposedly, allegedly, from what I'm hearing, March or April.
Well, he's about to knock Kambosos out because they stole Maxie Hughes' IBO belt. So Loma's gonna be a champion again. Because that was one of the championships that Manny Pacquiao got to become an 8 division champion, the IBO. Right. But we also got to make sure Ryan don't knock off Dev. Because Ryan's up there at 142, and he's calling for Teal right now after the Oscar Duarte fight. I think Ryan and Dev would be a big fight.
Yeah, that'd be because they're 3-3 in amateurs, just like Gary Antoine Russell and Boots would be a good fight. Because they're
Antoine Russell.
He's gonna absolutely man. That ain't even. That's why when he been talking, he said it like a couple months ago that
his arm's too short to box with the God, man.
That first of all, have you seen Boots? I mean, I know you have, but y'all. Man, go look on YSM Media. Shout out to YSM Media. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to that brother's channel. Man, look at what Boots is doing. Like, I just don't understand it. Man, that man is special. Boots is coming for all the smoke. Boots is definitely coming from all the smoke.
I say Boots is the next Roy Jones. He's going to clear 147 all the way to 160. Just like Roy went from 154 to 175 and had no problems. And then Boots might go up 178 or something like that, 168 or something like that. But for them first three divisions, he has no problem. He smokes everyone. Antoine Russell, his arms are not long enough for Boots. He'll get destroyed. I don't think he gets more than 5-6 rounds with Boots.
Yeah,
why you think he's staying in 140?
Knowing that he can't make it.
Exactly. He's not trying to go up there with that man. But he know if he go up there at 147, they're gonna try to push that fight.
Man, listen. That's I love Shakur. Y'all know I like Shakur. I rock with Shakur as well. But for me, it has always been a boogeyman is Jerron, Boots, Ennis.
Boots and Morrell.
Boots and Morrell
are my two fighters of the destiny. Are the two fighters of the new year, of the new generation. They both 26, and I don't see nobody beating both of them in the next three divisions. That's just like the women say on period.
No, those are gonna be some great fights. I will hope that Gary Edson was to do that. Go up.
We had a good show today, boy. We went an hour and a half overtime. You want to go ahead and give our closing arguments, Key?
Now let Coach, what you got to say, Miss Amber?
It's a historic thing in women's boxing. I'm gonna let Coach Amber close this out tonight.
Yeah, that period's painful.
Glad men don't
get it. Platform. Thank you, Key. Thank you, Upper. Salute to the chat.
Thank you, Queen. Shout out to everybody that came through. King Vonnie, blessings to you, King. Jermaine Wood, Boots and Morrell would not be remembered because they would be ducked so much.
Hey, I beg to differ. They said it about Spence, but then after a while, Spence became the money man, and Boots and Morrell will become the money man because you can't keep ducking. You can't keep ducking.
Nope, you ain't gonna be able to. Brian King, shout out to the King. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming through. All things, as always. Thank you so much, B-Dog. Aka Flex. Shout out to you, King. You said Santos is a young, hungry competitor. I do. This is going to be a very interesting fight. Rick Timms, one of the ghosts of these YouTube streets. Shout out to you, King. Let me see. J.A. Dixon, thank you for always coming through. Brock Howard, shout out to you and salute.
Hey, I'm going to tell you before you keep going. And y'all go look up William Foster III. If y'all want to see a nice pure boxer, look at William Foster III. That's the one that beat Edwin De Los Santos. He moved down to the 130 division because didn't nobody want to give him smoke at 135, so he moved to 130. William Foster, he's 5'10 and at 130, undefeated. Hell of a power. He got hell of a boxing. He's like Shakur with power and taller. He's 5'10 and making 130 and doing it good. He's Ben Foster's little brother.
He's a beast, that's for sure.
He's the heavyweight. Once the dude that just lost, the heavyweight Ben Foster that was undefeated. That's his little brother.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, Key. My bad.
That's okay. Shout out to Big Ray. Thank you for coming through, King. Let me see if I missed anybody else. Queen Ariana. Shout out to you, Queen. Thank you for coming through. Thomas Hill. I think that's it. If I missed anyone, Black All Day. Shout out to you, King. Thank you for coming through. Hen Dog. I think that's it. Akelo. Thank you for coming through. Mike Rhyme. Expensive Paper. Thank you. D1. Shout out to you, King. Thank you for coming through as always. I always look forward to seeing you and your comments because you don't play. Skywalker Boxing. Thank you. Thank you, King. Ping 1. Thank you for coming through. Frequent Flyer. Shout out to you. One of the biggest Devin Haney fans, you and Bullet Gibson. Shout out to y'all two Kings. T. Wells. Thank you for coming through, Kawhi Elliott. I love that name. If I ever have a son, I'm going to name my son Kawhi. That is such a pretty name to me. Meaty Riley, thank you for coming through, King.
Like the boxer. I mean, like basketball player.
Like the
Kawhi
basketball.
Leonard.
Yep. I love that name. Zach B, Anthony Latham. Thank you, Just Do Boxing. Definitely y'all tune in to him. Patrick Bell, Reed 215 Philly, Mrs. Just Do, everybody that came through. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow. Upper, as always, thank you for having me on. Oh, Daryl Thingpen, thank you so much, King, for coming through. I really appreciate it. We'll be back on tomorrow. Upper, as always, thank you so much for having this panel. It's good to talk boxing. Of course, I look at you as in a high regard because of all the knowledge and everything that you know. Thank you for
that way as well, Key.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You my equal and my co-host.
Oh no, I don't know too much. I'm still a little
guess what?
When it comes to the 90s.
But guess what? What you don't know in boxing, you make up to in pizzazz and knowledge and willpower and learning. You make up for it in that. So, you know, we like salt and pepper, or like sugar and lemonade. You know,
got it.
Put it together, get a great combination.
Thank you. And I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you, Upper. Shout out to you and your family. Shout out to your queen, your wife, for lending us to you, however that goes, for 3.5 hours. Shout out to her, your children. God bless you all, children, and y'all families and y'all significant others, man. And
Shane Fraser just hopping in. You've been on the low, Shane.
Hey, Shane. And yes, you're right. Take over everybody. GTD all day. You already know how we coming. But I'm going to let Upper go ahead and close us out. Shout out to y'all, man.
They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster.
And make sure y'all tune in to Just Do Boxing. I know we're a little late, but make sure y'all.
For a reason, I'm really tripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-pound rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK to anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. LPN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5 boys sell, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple off Draco. I got 'em all, you don't want no. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get this pussy, leaving nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leaving nigga bleeding.